Blam blam.
Blam blam. Hello everyone and welcome back to Wisdom Saves. We're finally back after too long. My name is Dom. I will be your humble dungeon master for today. And let's go ahead and do some introductions before we hop back into the story. And let's go ahead and kick everything off in the usual order. I tried to open the stream and there's an advertisement, so I'll let you folks take the reins from here and introduce yourselves.
It's Ellie first.
Ellie.
Hello everyone, my name's Alishiera. I play Brynjael the Radiant, who is our good girl paladin of our group.
Lovely. Eminence.
Hi everyone, I'm Nicole. I play Eminence, who is not the good girl of our group. She's a tiefling warlock and she has a sister who you will meet shortly.
Speaking of sister.
Yes. Hi, I'm Levin, and I play Oriana, who is Eminence's sister. I'm sorry, my husband is slamming doors in the background, of course. She is a tiefling cleric, and also not that good.
Love me some morally gray characters. Speaking of morally gray, Aery.
I don't know what you're talking about. Aery is always such a good and nice boy. He is a good and nice boy. He just also has, I guess, some questionable morals. But he's a high elf sorcerer, and he's very fabulous. I couldn't remember the whole string of words I usually say, so just gonna pass.
Wasn't it the bisexual elf disaster boy?
Yes.
Yes, but I was supposed to add something to it as well. Shiny bisexual elf disaster boy.
Flamboyant.
Okay. Shiny flamboyant bisexual elf disaster boy. Love it. Natalie.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm a half-orc barbarian who hates stores.
Well, luckily we're in a forest, so unless you are like the proto-door form of trees also sets you off, I think you'll be okay.
That'll be my ultimate big bad evil guy. It's just a giant door.
Big old doors. Excellent. Where we last left our adventurers, their original task to come down to VaguelyIllogical, and the original task was to come down to VaguelyIllogical, just north of the Deepwood, and investigate the Forest of Statues within the Deepwood, a small grove whereupon, if an individual was buried, a few overnight, seemingly, a perfect replica statue of the individual that was buried would rise up out of the ground. And the reason the players have been contacted is there appears to be a perfect replica of the king of VaguelyIllogical. And after a little bit of snooping and sleuthing, they found this statue for themselves, pulled away in a smaller secondary grove to the central Forest of Statues. They tried to meet the king in person, but found that they were unable to, as he was currently ill when they visited the central keep of VaguelyIllogical. And they were tasked by some of the members of that keep to investigate the disturbances in the Deepwood, find out what is going on. Why are the trees in this fey-touched Deepwood moving? And, of course, the day they were going to set out on their expedition, the Deepwood seems to have largely evacuated the Deepwood and instead put itself on top of the city of VaguelyIllogical, as all of the trees has just up and moved into the city, which is completely disrupting the way of life within VaguelyIllogical. Either way, the party decided to head deeper into the wood towards its center to try to investigate what is going on. After a brief encounter with some very, very large and dangerous cats, one of their party members decided they would be better off departing from the group with a very sad letter, and the rest of the party decided to continue in towards the center, finding ruins and remains of trees that seem to have been eviscerated by some unknown force. And after seemingly negotiating with the trees themselves, have now found their way into the central basin of the Deepwood. This large, almost like a dome, or a bowl, perhaps, in the center of the Deepwood, at the center of these galactic striations of hillside. And after initially entering, they discovered that some of the trees had iron nails in the roots. And after removing the iron nails from one of the trees, the tree seems to have vanished from the center of the deep wood. And so the party have decided to head into the center of this bowl, the true heart of the forest itself. And so they set out in that direction. As you have just sort of dropped down over the central lip of this bowl into the center, the warm autumn-colored leaves, the yellow and oranges of these leaves beneath your feet crunch satisfyingly. However, as you noticed in the previous session, there is no decay. It is not mulch. There are not insects crawling across the bottom. It seems as though the leaves have just fallen from the trees, perhaps even this morning, perhaps even yesterday. If I remember correctly, it is a little bit past midday, as you did rest the night before, so that you would make it with plenty of time to find out what was at the center. There is sort of an unnatural cool to the air that sort of tingles your skin, and whenever you speak to another member of your party, there is still that almost unearthly reverb, as if you're underwater, but you can still hear a good distance away, just something warping the sound in this small way. And the only sounds are those of your own footsteps and your own breathing. No birds, no animals. It is quiet. I would like to get a nature or survival check from whoever is leading the party in towards the center.
I think at this point, was it Natalie or Bryn that was ahead?
I think I was
One of
leading
the-
because you were with Eminence.
That's at the
But-
back. Yes, because leading Arden at the
Arden,
back,
yeah.
because Arden was bringing up the rear, so that would be Natalie at the front.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Ooh, that's a 19.
19. Okay. As you continue to walk down, the incline slowly slopes out as you're reaching the deepest point of this basin. You still can see here and there these footprints, regular sized, leaving deep depressions in the leaves. And by the nature of the lack of decay of the leaves, it is very, very difficult to tell how recent these footprints have been. It might have been much like the leaves falling this morning. It might have been days ago. There is no indication of age. And as you pass further and further towards the center, you can come by tree after tree after tree, and each of these trees has these jagged iron nails bolted into the roots, some haphazardly, some more efficiently, some bent at awkward and odd angles, but very clearly prominent now that you know what to look for. That said, it doesn't take too long before it comes into view. It's maybe only about 5 minutes or so before, Natalie, your eyes settle on what appears to be a larger tree. The ground has largely flattened out to be almost completely parallel to traditional ground. And as you step closer and closer, you can see almost Legend of Zelda-esque, an oak tree, but massive in width, probably around 40 or 50 feet in diameter, enormous, rising up, erupting from the ground. And much like the rest of the trees in this grove, you can see that its branches are bare. There are no leaves on its branches. It's this deep, warm brown color, but even so, you can see these almost white and black veins throughout the course of the tree that distinctly stand out from its natural coloration. And the tree itself is so commanding that it takes another few steps of just walking and looking at this enormous tree before you notice adjacent to it a small hut, maybe pushed right up against the butt of this tree, maybe only about 10 feet tall, 15 feet wide at the most, and a thin, small plume of smoke rising from a single opening.
So it just looks like a standard hut.
It looks like a lean-to. As you get closer and start to look more and more at this, it is haphazard at best. This was not an expert woodsman's creation. Even just looking at it, you can see that the window is bare. There is no glass in the pane, and just like a little rag across to prevent view towards the outside. The door is just vertical slats of wood. There is what looks to be a small garden in the front that isn't so much denoted as a large fence, but more vertical sticks. And in this garden, you can see a variety of what look like scarlet mushrooms.
Dream house.
Right.
Interesting.
Do those look tasty to you guys, or they look poisonous? I can't tell.
Please don't just eat things you find in the forest, Aery.
I'm not going to. I was asking. That's why I asked, because I wasn't going to just eat it.
I mean, even if they look okay, this is somebody's garden.
Yes, many vibrantly colored mushrooms, sometimes they can be very good, but typically is the notion of potentially poisonous with mushrooms.
Yeah, I thought so.
We can go foraging another time, though, if you're wanting to get some mushrooms.
Foraging, isn't really my vibe.
That's fair.
Should we, knock on the door or something?
Are there any signs of destruction around?
Are there any signs,
fresh? Yeah.
Yeah, looking around this area, not that you can see. There is a stump, maybe about 10 feet away from this hut, from this shack, and you can see a small sort of iron hatchet that's kind of buried in it, and the stump itself has many notches and grooves as if it's been used to split wood pretty regularly. Make an investigation check for me.
Was that Bryn?
Yeah, anyone who wants to look more closely.
I will look at the house and not the mushrooms.
Natural 20, but -1, so 19.
Yeah.
I got 15.
Natural 1.
Oh my god. Two ends of the spectrum right there.
Yeah, Aery, you're like Baby Yoda with those mushrooms. You're just like, but they could be delicious.
Oh, what if they're tasty?
That doesn't mean they're not poisonous, Aery.
With a 19, so looking more closely, you can see that a majority of the boot prints originate from this area. The depressions in the leaves and the dirt deep beneath are much more compressed by repeated traffic throughout this area than elsewhere around the bowl. In addition, with a 19, you also notice that the shack is built out of iron nails. Similar looking iron nails.
The big tree, is that nailed down?
It doesn't appear to be, no.
Okay. Well, I don't know if this is the person that nailed down the other trees, but it looks like they're very similar to the nails that we've pulled out of a couple of the trees.
If you ask me, if he's a threat, he'll already know we're here. And if he's not a threat, then we should probably talk to whoever is inside.
Yes, well, I'm more than happy. Conversation is never something to shy away from, so I'm happy for that.
I don't see a
Shall we?
problem with that much.
Yeah, let's see what they're about.
And he begins to approach.
Bryn will just like follow just behind her.
Sure.
Yeah,
As
I guess if nobody else seems like they're taking the lead, she'll walk up as if she's going to knock on the whatever passes for the front door.
Yeah. So you step into the garden, and as you get closer, you can hear the sound of almost like a scraping, like something grinding against something else. And you approach towards the door, and there is no like lock or latch or handle. You get the sense that by knocking on it, it would probably swing open.
Yep. She'll sort of maybe try to. Can I peek through any of the wood? Can I sort of see what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not very well put together, so there are definitely plenty of gaps that you can peek through. Inside, you can faintly see there is candlelight warming the interior, and judging by the glow, there appears to be a small cook fire on the opposite side, directly across from the door. However, from this angle, you cannot see a resident, but you gather that they might be like just a little bit deeper inside of this hut, effectively past the door.
Okay. I'm just checking to see whether I have a dagger. Pretty sure I do. Yeah, I would like to, one hand in my sort of like clothing so that it's not obvious. I would like to have a dagger at the ready. And then a deep breath, and I knock.
Sure. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me to hide this dagger.
Okay. 12.
12. Okay. Yeah, so you knock against the wood, and the scraping kind of stops, and you hear, oh. And a moment later, footsteps, and the door swings open, and standing there in front of you, you see a woman, late 40s, early 50s, sort of a square, ordinary face, gray brown hair, brown eyes, smooth white skin. She looks at you and, oh, hello.
Good evening.
She sort of looks inside for a moment, like questioningly, and then back. And what are you doing here?
I could ask you the very same thing.
Oh, I'm working. I'm so sorry. And she, at this point, she now sees the rest of you and seems a little surprised. And, oh, where are my manners? It's been so long. Please do come in if you like. I can make some tea.
Tea sounds lovely, and I'll sort of step inside with very little regard for my own safety.
Okay.
Bryn will follow after. She's just like ducking in. Bryn will stay very close behind Emmy.
I would imagine that we're not too far from the front door.
No,
like kind
I
of.
think we would. Yeah,
you
we
can
just
see this.
Forged ahead.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have.
Actually, Will, I might, if you guys are lingering outside, and it looks like everyone can actually fit in this building, I might look back.
It'll be like really cozy. It's like, have you ever been in a car that seats 5 people, but you fit like 7 or 8 people? It'll be like that. It'll be real cozy. You get the sense that with just the 2 of you, yeah. With like just the 2 of you and the tenant, it would already be pretty cozy.
Okay. I might look back and just kind of make eye contact with Aery. Like,
he's just like peeking out from like the back, just like peeking around someone.
Yeah. So stepping inside the interior, you can see that this is like a small makeshift hovel. There's a cot in the corner with an unmade bed. You can see tin plates and cups next to a small bucket, a reservoir of water, effectively. In the back, there is a cook fire, on top of which there is a small kettle, and she immediately ladles some of the water into the kettle so that it starts cooking. as she does, she kind of like turns back around. Oh, would you teacups on the wall? And she points behind you. And as you turn around, you can see that there is like a single shelf on the back that has tin teacups, forks, knives, different salts and peppers and spices, along with small bits of dried food. And hanging from the bottom of that, you see several different burlap sacks, each one sort of labeled with different fruits, vegetables, and meats. But what really catches your attention as you step into the room is the majority of the central space has been cleared for a long metal tube that is pointed up towards the ceiling. And as you get closer, you can see that it sits on what looks like a tripod. And there is a cap on both ends, where the end up closer towards the ceiling is much wider than the end towards the bottom.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. It has been very long since I have seen other people. Do you have a preference? Jasmine, chai? I think I have some Earl Grey.
Jasmine, please.
Yes, Jasmine
Okay.
sounds lovely. And I'll, without fully turning my back to her, pull down some teacups. 3, I suppose Aery is partaking.
He's still outside. He's still behind everyone.
Out of interest, how many teacups are there on the wall?
There's 4. They look to be like part of like a set.
Okay.
Okay.
Went to IKEA, got the one
Got
set,
the-
because that's all they
Beginner's
needed. Yeah.
Like looking at just the utilities in here, this is bare bones. I am going on a trip, sort of IKEA-esque.
If I kind of walk around this central metal contraption, can I size it up, sort of try to get a feel for what it could be without outright asking her just yet?
So it is pretty cozy to maneuver around. You can see that she's very delicate as she moves around it. But you get the sense that if you were to walk past it, you would basically be like right next to her and the kettle in this hovel. So I'll say you can make an investigation check. But if you try to get like too close to it, then she'll probably notice pretty quickly, because right now she's sort of sprinkling these tea leaves.
I'm not really making any. I'm not hiding the fact that I'm checking it out. It's the most interesting thing in the room. I'm just having a look. Hasn't told me not to.
Look but don't touch situation.
Check. Yeah.
Investigation. So you can see that this sort of metal tube is actually comprised of several smaller metal tubes that have been fitted together. And aside from the leather cap that's on both ends, you can see that it's designed to sort of pivot and swivel so that it can point in different directions. And for the state of everything else in this room, the tin teacups are a little battered and a little stained. The bed isn't made. There's sort of just a pile of dirty clothes in the corner. This metal contraption is polished and clean and looks close to untouched almost. And you can even see that there is a polish rag sort of hanging on a small hook next to it.
So this, you said it was like Captain One End. Is this like, it's like independent, or was it going like, it's like the tube's like extending like out through like the wall or the ceiling or something? Is this like
it
how
is not? Yeah, so it's very small. From what you can see, it's probably about 3.5 feet long, maybe 4 feet long at most. So it is pretty large. It's the size of a small person, but it does fit within this hut, albeit only barely.
Do you mind my asking? And I'll just sort of gesture at it, like.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even. Sorry, my name is Jana.
Pleasure, Eminence.
I'm Brynjael.
Yes. Pleasure, and I'm sure your friends in a moment. You had a question.
Yes, the contraption. What exactly is it?
Oh, this? And she hands out a teacup to you. This is a teacup.
Thank you. I think you know that's not what I meant.
She kind of smiles. Sorry, I thought that one would be funnier. I've been sitting on that one for a while. It's a. Are you familiar with a telescope?
Would I be familiar with a telescope?
I mean, roll an intelligence check. You would know your character's education better than I would.
Oh, look, she's from a pretty high class family, but that is a 2, and she's also pretty sheltered.
You know of astrology and astronomy, but you've seen telescopes. You've just never used one.
Oh, right. Like to look at the stars, right?
Oh yes, yeah. I'm glad you know. Yes.
Why put it under a tree?
Oh well, I brought it here because I couldn't leave it home, and then well, at first there were leaves, and now there aren't leaves, so now I get to use it. But when I first came here, I couldn't.
And did you have anything to do with that? The
No.
leaves?
Not that I know of.
If you don't
I'd like
mind
to take some pointed looks at the iron that is around the cottage.
Yes,
Sure.
this does seem to be, forgive me if this is coming across as too blunt, but more so a hurried shelter, or not temporary, but not one that was intended forever.
I never did do well with construction or woodworking. You're correct. I'm much better with fine instruments. And she kind of motions over, and you can see that tucked away in the corner next to the campfire is almost a small desk. It's barely more than a table with a stool next to it. You can see that the left half is just piled with journals and papers and scrawlings of all different kinds. The right half, however, has different pieces of what looks like glass. And next to the glass, you can see rocks of what almost look like different texture that you approximate might be used for sanding this glass.
Forgive me, not to say that it is a bad home, but was this intended? You said that you couldn't leave the telescope at home. Are you meaning to live here for an extended period, or are you on your way somewhere, or was there a reason you had to leave home?
Only for the duration of my study. I have intent to go home. My family is back at home. I'm here for research and investigate. It's been a long time since I've seen another person. What brings you here? What brings you not to? I don't know how to make that sound nice. I'm sorry.
No, we are the ones intruding on your home. Don't worry about it. You can be as blunt as you want, but we are investigating disturbances within the forest, and the lack of leaves is probably one of the things that we will be looking into as well of this tree.
Yes.
The nails I noticed, iron. Did you happen to have anything to do with some of the other trees that...
Me? No, goodness, no. I don't know. This is probably going to sound strange, but when I wake up some mornings, there are just some of my nails, and she kind of motions over, and you can see that there is just a small box of more of these iron nails. There's probably 3 or 4 dozen still iron nails in this box. Some of them are just missing. I had somewhere around 200 when I first came here. I didn't know how long I would be. I didn't know if it would be a temporary thing or a long thing. So I just made the one shack, and many of them are gone, and I haven't really looked for them. What is? Have you found them? Is there just a pile somewhere?
Well, no, not a pile. I'm assuming you don't wander too far from Your home.
Not too much, no. I generally just say...
How far is the grove that we were in, that we saw the nailed down trees, to where we are now? Like, how long a walk?
They're like all of the trees, aside from this big, enormous oak at the center of the wood, have nails in the bottom of them. So even the tree that's maybe 5 feet away from the entrance has nails in the bottom.
You haven't noticed that literally all of the trees are nailed into the ground with seemingly your nails?
I mean, I've seen a few here or there. All of them.
Well,
You said you were a scientist. You're here to investigate something.
Astronomer. Yes.
Astronomer.
You don't seem particularly perceptive as to your surroundings.
Well, I guess as an astronomer should be looking up, not down. So I guess that does make a little bit of sense.
I notice other details.
And like glare at Bryn over her teacup.
At this point, yes, she pulls out another teacup and pours some tea into it, and kind of very carefully makes her way around the telescope, and sort of has to step in between the two of you to get over towards the door. And there was one more of you, young sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Should I come in? It doesn't seem to be a lot of room.
Well, while you're at the door, Jana, perhaps you should have a look at the surrounding trees. That's those disappearing nails.
She kind of like leans out a little bit and, oh yes, oh, well, I don't remember those being there. I'm sorry. I can get them out. I have a hammer. She hands you the teacup, Aery, and starts once again squeezing between the two of you to head back over to the box of nails where the hammer is next to it, with a hammer next to it, and goes around the telescope.
Yes, well, we were kind of investigating what was going on before. Well, I mean, I am all for the trees having the nails removed, but kind of as a group, we decided to figure out what's going on.
She's just standing there with the hammer.
Oh, but as I know, not a scientist, but astrologer, this might be of interest to you. We can see if it happens here.
And should we kind of like pushing Jana towards the tree, like the closest tree to pull?
Okay, she kind of gets pushed a little bit. As she kind of gets out the door, you can see that she kind of shies away from the light a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, lady, you should get out more.
I do. Usually it's at nighttime. It's hard to see the stars during the day.
Yeah, but the sun is it's really good for your skin and stuff.
As she steps out into the sunlight, you can see that her skin is very pale, as if she has basically been shut in during the day for a long time.
Did we ask what race she was? Sorry,
she's human.
She's human. Okay, yeah.
Gross.
Yes, I mean, I'm happy to do it if you wanted, or if you wanted to pull the nails at yourself.
I mean, I can certainly. They are my nails. I think they are my. This looks like my nail. It could be a very good replica of my nail. And she kind of hooks the hammer underneath one of the nails and leans back, and it does not move at all.
Did you want myself or a friend, Natalie? She's very strong as well. Want of us to have a go?
I think I can. She kind of lets go of the hammer and just falls back, and the hammer is just kind of sticking up from the side of the nail.
Bryn's going to kind of listen and say,
you've probably loosened it for me.
You're too kind, but I couldn't move it at all.
Strength check, do you want?
Yes, please. Yeah. I'll give you advantage with the hammer, with the proper tool.
Lovely, because that's a 19. The second one plus 23.
Yeah, absolutely. You just immediately wrench it free from the tree, and almost immediately sap begins to flow out of the wound.
Did that happen with the other ones?
No, I don't think it did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. The sap was coagulated.
Yeah, it corrosion.
Yeah.
Around where the nail was.
Yeah, so there is no sap flow, but you can see that.
I was just wait.
You're right. I'm trying to...
Important detail. She just had a vivid flashback. She's rubs her eyes, looks again. Oh, there's no sap. So I just like I
She was
envisioned
expecting
it.
it,
I
yeah.
expected it, and then I look again, and there's no sap. I guess she goes around and like does them all.
Yeah, guys, you're quite strong. I can make more tea. I can make you dinner.
Oh, listen,
I'm so sorry.
No, you stay here because this is very interesting if it happens again, and this is good for us to know as well if it's like a proximity to something thing.
Anyway, like Bryn will go around. Do you need another strength check at all for like the other nails?
I'll say make a strength check with advantage to just sort of finish off this tree.
17.
Sure. So it does take. It's not as immediate as pulling the first one out, but within a couple of minutes, you are able to sort of wrench 4 or 5 nails out of the base of the roots of this tree until finally you pull the last one free and get a chance to settle back. Oh, that is
like with the last nail when she pulls it out, she's just gonna like pat the trunk and say like in Sylvan, just like if you need to go, you go. Like it's fine. And then she's like, okay, now like everybody like look away, and she's just gonna like turn Jana so she's not looking at the tree anymore.
What are we?
Okay, yeah, no, we're all looking over here. You can close your eyes if you want to. You don't need to though. But like if you want to, yeah.
And then once everyone's turned away, Bryn's gonna turn back and see if the tree's gone.
Yeah. What does everyone look away?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Eminence.
I'm inside.
Okay.
I'm not looking.
Just snooping.
Sure.
Will come back to me in a sec.
Yeah. As all of you look away, there's again no sound, no nothing, no birds, just your own breathing and heartbeat. Jana says, "So,
I think this is okay to look now. So I think we can turn around. This will be interesting."
And Bryn,
slowly,
like, yeah.
She turns back around and, much like the other trees, this one is no longer there. There's just flat leaf-covered ground where it once was. And Jana, that's new.
Perhaps
is very
we should have
new.
warned her. That's why we turned her around.
But isn't it way more interesting? Because wouldn't that have been so confusing if she turned around and the tree was just still there? Then she would have been like, oh, what are these crazy people doing? It's a pretty fun, the 50-50.
I'm not a big fan of people thinking that I'm crazy.
But we know always crazy.
They haven't always done that. No.
Well, no. So funny. Do you know about the surrounding area, like Valater? That's like a couple of days away from here.
Oh no, I'm from the south. I'm from Baya Township.
Well, I wonder how far away is that. I wonder if they're suffering the same thing.
It was probably 2.5 weeks journey.
Oh, that should be plenty far enough away, probably. Valater, it's full of trees now at the moment.
That sounds very lovely, like parks.
No. Like the trees are just like where they want to be.
What? I don't understand.
Well, so you know how like that one is not there anymore? Imagine that it's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to be right in the middle of a very major thoroughfare in the city instead.
Yeah, like basically we all went to sleep and there were no trees. Well, there were trees in the city, but they were like where they're supposed to be. And then we all woke up and then the trees were just not in this forest anymore. And instead they were just like in the city.
Oh, well, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, super weird.
Have you figured out why?
No, that's why
we're here.
Wait, here? Why do you... I don't understand.
This is like the heart of the forest, yeah?
And you saw how that tree just disappeared.
Yeah,
appearing trees, disappearing trees.
They're going from
connection
to the city. So we got to figure out why they want to leave here. Well, maybe it's you. Maybe they just don't like you.
But no, we also want the trees to be able to go back home if they want to. We don't know if they are trying to escape from something. Maybe they don't want to be in the city, and maybe they just moved because there's something scary here for them.
Sorry, this is a lot. Like maybe okay, Oriana, I'm seeing what you're saying with like maybe we should have foreshadowed no. It's like a lot of information to take in, but you know, easy breezy, whatever.
That's very concerning. I think I think you should see something. I think you should see this. And she starts walking behind the shack, and heading sort of around the oak tree.
While she's been distracted during this conversation,
totally.
could Eminence please have had a real good rifle through all of her writings on the
Make an investigation check for me. I'll say with advantage because the rest of the party is keeping her pretty busy.
Okay, that is either a 19 or a 21.
21. So looking at the papers, there are 3 notebooks that appear to be like a journal, like a diary that has a rough transcription, and they go back 170 days or so. A long time. You get the sense that when she's been through a winter in this shack, effectively, as it is mid-spring at this point. You can see that she also has rolled up star charts that depict different quadrants of the sky during different seasons, different constellations and astral bodies that all have sort of hypotheses and guesses about different astral bodies moving across the sky and their relation to other astral bodies that seem to span, as far as you can tell, half a year's worth. Maybe not quite that long. Maybe only the past 3 or so months worth of movement.
Am I going crazy, or did the guy in the city give us something similar to this? Or did she just give us maps?
No,
I
just
thought
maps.
he gave us like some sort of. I thought he gave us some sort of like star chart. Maybe not.
I think it was a map of the basin.
I don't remember.
But same area. Could overlay them.
Yeah. So you see these star charts that are rolled up, and many of them are written in what you can recognize to be her hand. Also, at a glance, looking through her journals and sort of flipping through her notes, most of them appear to be taking note of something she refers to as the stone. However, in the beginning, many of her notes were lucid and detailed and very clear. But as you flip through the pages, you can see they become more and more shorthand, with the most recent entry saying "warm day today." And that's the only thing in the entry for the day.
Okay. I make absolutely no effort to hide that I've gone through her things. Everything is not where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And then I'll head back outside and join the others.
Sure. The rest of you, do you follow her when she heads back behind the shack?
If Jana's going somewhere, Bryn would follow her.
Sure.
I will follow as far as I can follow to not lose sight of the door and where Eminence is.
I think like
I'm going to circle the whole way around the building.
If Eminence is still inside, I would offer to stay if you wanted to go with them.
Well, if someone's staying, I'll go.
Like, I'll just be like at the gate or whatever. Like, not inside the house, just hanging out at front.
Okay, I'll come out and join you two. And maybe Aery?
So,
even I don't know what Aery's up to right now.
I'll say it's probably about this time, Emmy, that you walk out of the shack and you see the rest of the party sort of walking around the side of it. As you make your way around the building, or the lean-to, for lack of a better word, you probably go around maybe 20 feet of this large central oak before you have to start walking away from it to get around from a root that sort of erupts out of the side of the ground that rises 8 feet or so into the air before diving back into the dirt, maybe 15 feet or so away from the tree. So you just clear around this root. And as you come around the side of it, you can see much more clearly the striations of these white and black veins crisscrossing against the body of this tree. And more specifically, the origin point of these veins. Nestled in the crook between two of these enormous roots sort of reaching out into the distance, you see what looks like a crater. It's just this deep divot of earth right up against the foot of this tree where even the dirt has sort of been knocked and cleared aside. You can also see there's been a small footpath effectively cleared down through this tossed dirt wall. And in the center of this crater, you see a piece of rock, ostensibly. Just this black, almost silvery black rock leaning against the side of the tree. And very, very clearly, you can see that where the rock is sort of leaning against the side of the tree, those black and white veins are spidering out from there, up the tree itself. This is the stone. This is... you were talking about things being strange. This might be it.
Yeah, well, that definitely doesn't seem to be how a tree should be growing.
I did guess that. Yes, I did figure that. But I
Have you tried moving the rock?
I have.
If I
You
overhear
can't.
that, I
Okay.
would like to shout to Bryn, don't touch it.
Oh, but it doesn't look good on the tree. It looks like it's hurting the tree.
Nobody should be touching that right now.
Yeah, I tried moving it when I first got here. I mean, this wasn't as bad as when I first got here, but whenever you get close to it, your head goes all fuzzy and swimmy.
Looking at Jana, does she seem sick or anything? Like with her saying that, Bryn's kind of gonna once over. Does she look like she's either just super tired or looks?
Make an insight check.
Plus 21.
21. Okay. Jana doesn't appear to be hiding anything as far as you can tell. But you can see that her teeth aren't in the best condition. Her skin isn't as clean as it could be. She hasn't really been committing to self-care in the way that you would expect a woman of science, a woman of astronomy to. Her clothing is a little bit worn, and looking a little bit more closely, you can actually see that she probably hasn't changed this outfit in a couple of days.
Look, we're not here to judge.
This isn't 2020 vibe in personified. It's
yeah,
I wasn't expecting to see anyone, so I didn't have a shower. I'm still in my pajamas.
It's a mood.
But even beyond that, even beyond the being under quarantine underneath this tree, for lack of a better phrase, there is a degree of almost
to an unhealthy level. It's
borderline. You get the sense that if she were here for if she were here in this state for longer, it could be bad.
Okay. When you forget to brush your teeth and you're my mouth feels fuzzy, I should go brush my teeth.
Yeah. But for her, it's been a week, you think. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I'll get to it.
Do you know, was this here when you got here?
Yes. I mean, I found it. That's why I came here.
But how did you know it was here?
Oh, I saw it. I was home. It was about 6 months ago, and I was looking at about 322 north, and I saw this streak across the sky, and then it split, and by my calculations based on the trajectory and the movement, I sort of hazarded a rough guess, and I wanted to see if I could find it, and I did. It was difficult, but I did find it.
This came from the sky.
It,
This came
yes,
from the sky?
it came from the sky. Yes, it
just
came
gonna
from the sky.
turn back to everyone else and just be like, "It came from the sky."
I mean, this part came from the. It could have been thrown. There are crazier things in the world.
If we, as people living in places, would we have any concept of like meteoroids and stuff? Like, you know,
Yeah.
people knew about them, but like, would we
Absolutely.
have any idea of it?
I mean, there are like shooting stars. Meteor showers do happen on rare occasions. Astrology is not like insane. It's just not something that's studied to a high degree because it doesn't exactly promote survival in difficult conditions. So astrology is probably a highly specialized field, but it isn't something that is so alien as to be like, our planet's the center of the solar system. Like, no, people know that planets orbit a star.
And we have like some idea that sometimes things fall and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so this isn't like groundbreaking, like our entire world's crumbling right now. It's just kind of like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But like seeing a concrete meteorite is uncommon.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone know anything about like a skyrock and like has experienced any? I mean, sorry, Johnny, you would probably know better than us. Have you heard of like a skyrock doing anything like this to nature before?
Not by my research. That's why I'm trying to stay here. I intended to take it home with my and you can see she turns around, and next to sort of the other large branch, the one that you didn't come around, you can see what looks to be a mound of leaves and just barely like the corner of a piece of wood sticking up. That's my wagon. That was my wagon. It's not going anywhere. I haven't seen my horse in a while though. I'm sure it's fine. I'll just pull it when I get to that.
Jana.
That's not a today problem. Yes.
I'd like to show you something, and I'll walk back around into the house and grab her own diary.
Yeah.
I'll bring it out, and in a way that I can kind of like, I'll place it out so that anyone else who wants to gather around can see.
Oh, and yes, those are my notebooks. Yes.
Yes, this is what you wrote when you got here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll flip to the last page.
Measuring diameter, weight, density. Yes.
Yes, this is what you wrote yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look unusual to you?
It was warm yesterday. Yes.
Do you notice anything?
My S is a bit crooked.
I don't think this place is healthy for you, Jana.
Why do you say that?
I think you spent a lot of time very close to a very strange item.
I'm sure it's fine. That's why I put the hut over here. The first few nights I slept next to it, and that was the nightmares. But over here is
when you slept too close to it?
Oh, I had difficulty sleeping, and I had these weird visions of murderous. It doesn't matter. It was.
No,
they were terrifying.
No, that definitely matters.
Tell us. Yeah, we need to know.
There were. It's gonna sound silly. There were these tiny men with these wicked swords and red hats and iron boots, and they were violent and murderous and terrifying and not like anything I've ever seen. I've met halflings. I've met gnomes. They were not any of those. I don't.
Something about
So-
iron boots is giving me flashbacks. Did we know we heard something like that, didn't we? Or no?
Footprints in the soil. They were quite deep, weren't they?
Yeah, I can't remember. For some reason, I thought, but I also thought that the guy in the city gave us an astrology chart. So I think that I am like misremembering a lot of stuff right now. But I thought we knew that these little people in the forest were wearing iron boots. Didn't we know that?
That
I
also sounds very
us
familiar to
knowing,
me.
But I also have it almost feels like this whole day has been like 6 months.
Yeah. If only I wrote notes about things, but I don't. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure if we knew about the boots, but I think from the height of like the slashes and the trees and stuff, we had theorized small people.
No,
Yeah.
we ruled that out as the displacer beasts.
Yeah.
That they
correct.
were the ones who made the marks on the trees.
Or Matreant. But then the slashing damage and stuff, like the actual destructive, like pathway being forged, we knew that it was a medium or small creature, like that kind of height range, and that it was like chaotic destruction looking like axes and swords and things.
Yeah, I thought that was like
And
blades and stuff.
Yeah.
We spotted them though, didn't we?
I think
Or we at least saw
We
medium to small
saw-
creatures in the distance going like.
well, I
then-
think Aery
It's
spotted
been
like
so long. I
yeah,
have no
Aery
idea.
spotted movement in like quite far off and destruction. Like there was like a kind of space between the trees kind of thing, and we went and investigated it, and it was like trees had been felled and stuff like that, like really sporadically, because we thought it was
Yeah,
like one of the
isn't that
trees
also, like-
disappearing.
Impossibly fast.
Yes, it was like in a blink.
Yeah.
Because they like look like they like fell.
Yeah.
Can Bryn just in case, can she do lay on hands 5 points on Jana? Just it neutralizes a disease or poison, but like just in case.
Sure. Yeah. So you just pat her on the shoulder and lay on hands, or are you trying to be surreptitious, or are you just?
No, I think
Heal.
at Emmy kind of bringing up being just like, oh, actually no, I don't know if she would have figured out what Emmy was pointing out, like with the articulation of the notes, but she was kind of like her looking a bit frazzled. And then Emmy
Sure.
saying not touching the stone, don't touch the rock.
Yeah.
She's just kind of, yeah. I think she wouldn't be like sneaky about it, but she's like, you know what, just in case, I'm just gonna like, in case you're like under the weather kind of thing, and like pat her on the shoulder.
I feel quite fine, and you pat her and lay on hands. 5 hit points heal into her. You see that her skin kind of cleans up a little bit. Thank you. Is that was a very kind thing? Did that do something? Was that just for emotional support?
Well, like, emotional support, I think, is always a very important thing that people don't always get. But you know, you've been out here alone for a while, and it's quite easy to pick up little infections and things like that.
I do have to say I have been talking to myself a little bit lately, and it's I am hilarious. I will say that. But yeah, that. Do you think? No. Do you think the stone could? It's just a rock.
Oh no, the rock is bad news. Did you see the tree? Like that's definitely not a good thing. If you put something against a tree and it starts growing white and black veins that are like spidering across the whole trunk, like that's not normal.
Yeah, and like, no offense, but if being near something gives you nightmares, I feel like that's a pretty good indicator that it's not a good thing.
I think you may have lost objectivity when it comes to this rock.
Yeah.
It hasn't done anything late. I haven't had any nightmares lately. I just,
Perhaps because you're doing what it wants you to do.
Oh my god, what if you're
Wait,
going
do you think
out
it's
in the middle of, I guess, the day since you're awake at night and like hammering nails into these trees and you don't even know you're doing it? It would explain how you're not woken up by someone nailing like nails into a tree. Because really, that should wake someone up.
I'm usually asleep during the day.
That's what I mean.
But that's like a trance, and you don't know that you're doing it.
That doesn't.
I mean, are you awake? Can you like confirm that you're not doing it?
No, but I feel like this is memory gaslighting, for lack of a better term.
Well, we're not saying that definitely, but we are like proposing it. It's not impossible.
I mean, you're right. It could be possible. Well, why don't we? I don't know. Pull the nails from the tree or something, and then.
But there's a lot. Like, I do want to do that at some point, but I think we should solve the problem so the trees don't feel like they need to leave, because they're fully grown trees. They didn't just pop up overnight. They've been here for a long time. They probably don't want to leave their home. But like, the rock's bad news. I think we can all agree. Bad sky rock.
What are we going to do about it, though?
It is just a rock. I mean, it does.
Why are you defending this rock so much?
Yeah.
You want to marry it?
I wanted to sell it, and then
it
got interesting. Sorry?
Did you try picking it up?
I did in the beginning, and I almost passed out. I haven't touched it in a long time.
You almost passed out trying to pick it up, and you don't know.
Well, I was going to shovel it and see if I could get maybe like a tarp under it, and
Wait. No, we did see her not be able to pull the nail. Did you pass out because you overexerted yourself, like you didn't use your knees and stuff? You tried to lift with your back, or did you pass out because you touched the rock?
When I put my hands on it, everything got swimmy, and I tried to push through it, and then I just kind of.
Medically speaking, if you touch something and you get like really foggy in the head and then you pass out, usually a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell you this, lady, but you have a very unhealthy relationship with this rock. Who do you think you would even sell it to if you brought it all the way home? You can't even pick it up.
Yeah, who wants an art installation that if you touch it, you pass out?
I mean, in
some
certain
king,
maybe you can't sleep or something, but...
That sounds... I could imagine many ways. A king could buy it for however much, and then give it as a gift to another king, and then use that as sabotage. I don't.
What do you want to fashion it into a giant pigeon and then put it in a busy shopping thoroughfare or something? No.
I would.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
That does sound like a great idea. That would be great. What a tourist attraction! The pigeon that knocks people out.
That would like the lucky stone. I could see that being reasonable. I don't know.
Nothing we have said in the last few minutes is reasonable, and the fact that you even think it could be is another red flag.
Make a persuasion check. I'll let Aery and Bryn make persuasion checks.
Okay.
While this is happening, can Bryn have like said to Arden, like, can you see if you can find the horse, like while you're like milling about outside?
Sure.
Oh my god, I keep fucking rolling off the table.
Both of us, the one of us.
That's a 14.
Both of you can roll because you're both parting.
What was it? Persuasion?
Persuasion.
21.
But that's way better than me. I've got good on persuasion, really. Oh, 12. That's still way better than me.
I've been here for a long time. I don't want to go home empty-handed.
You're not empty-handed. Think of all your research. You didn't come here for a rock. You came here to like look at the stars or something.
Yeah,
But I did come here for the rock. And
but discovery of you, like you said that you'd never heard of a rock doing this to a tree.
And who am I going to convince if I don't have it? Maybe you could help me put it on the wagon, and then I can leave, and then see.
I mean, if you don't have the horse, you couldn't pull the nail out. How are you going to drag a wagon out of the forest?
It's got wheels. We can manage.
Looking at you, I don't think so. No.
Look, I know it's harsh, but we're trying to be fair. We're here for you, but we don't want to lie to you.
I don't want to leave it. Someone else could come along and take it. It's.
Oh, I definitely think that we should be moving it from the tree, and it is probably something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands. It seems like it could be very dangerous. But you on your lonesome would not, if you would pass that trying to pick it up.
I had an idea. So we work for like, wait, are we supposed to talk about this? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
We haven't signed an NDA, we're fine.
Yeah, we work for like an organization, so we're here like investigating stuff for them, and we think that this is like a problem that may have something to do with the problem that they sent us here to. We don't know. But maybe they would want to buy the rock from you because it's possibly very significant.
Actually,
if it made all the trees move and stuff.
Sending a message to them would be a very good idea.
We
so
have our
we
magic.
Solve everyone's problems. Yeah, we get them to buy the rock, so you don't have to live with it in this sort of strange way anymore. And it's gone, and maybe that will make the trees happy. Who knows?
That could work. Could I still study the rock?
Oh, I think we need to move the rock. So, like, maybe you can discuss with them and they, like, purchase it off you, but then you have, like, an agreement that they can purchase it off you because it's this cool, unique thing, but then you have exclusive rights of scientific study.
Or maybe not exclusive rights, but visiting rights or something. I think you should be, you need time
involved.
Away from
I did
this
find
rock.
it. I do have the best notes on it currently.
But no one else knows that it's here.
Does Finders Keepers apply to something that could be horrifically dangerous for the mass populace?
And also,
Yes.
I think you need a break from this rock. Okay, you need some time apart to like figure out who you are as like not a crazy lady controlled by a rock. And then
Crazy lady.
well, you're acting
I'm not
like
crazy.
you have brain worms about just specifically about the rock.
Aery, you have this side under control. I'm going to see if I can go talk to the tree and see if it's okay. And Bryn's just gonna like walk out.
Yes, she's the crazy one.
But she can actually talk to trees, I think.
Does Jana look like she's starting to freak out a little bit over being called crazy?
It seems to have excited her a bit more.
Not my fault she's acting crazy.
Okay. Can I please grab her by the shoulders and just look her deep into her eyes? Jana.
You have beautiful
darling.
horns.
Thank you. I know. Frankly, I'm not having fun here anymore, and I want to go home. Could you please consider what our friends are telling you about the dangers of this rock?
Is that a persuasion check or an intimidation check?
Intimidation. I'm a fucking tiefling. Intimidation. 14 plus
amazing.
6. Is that 20?
20.
20.
Unnatural
20,
20, yeah.
And that's an unnatural 20.
Oh, no, sorry. Wow. You know when you're in the middle of something and then a yawn is like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say that was a nat 20?
Unnatural 20.
Oh, okay.
Well... I mean, you could be right. There could be a chance. I've been so cautious with it. I don't think it has affected me.
Well, as a scientist, you would know the best way to test that theory is to remove the variable that is the rock.
Okay. Well, how do you propose to do that?
Remove yourself from the rock, I guess I should have said.
Oh, I mean, I can't leave today. I would need to pack up all of my things and prepare. I
I'm
don't
sure one of us could help you with that.
have the capacity for that today, but I could perhaps tomorrow or the day after if the weather is perhaps more fair. I would like to see this paperwork or contract or whatever it is distributing the ownership of my discovery.
Yes, your discovery. We can do that for you.
Anything happens.
All right. Well, we have horses. We can help. Why don't you head inside and start working on that contract?
I think that's a fine idea. I'm going to put some tea on. Would any of you like any tea?
No tea for me, thank you.
Still have some of mine.
Oh, okay. And she goes into that.
You think she wants to poison us?
I absolutely think she wants to poison us.
I'm not drinking that fucking tea.
I don't think she wants to poison us on purpose. She might do it accidentally.
I believe that we need to work out how we're going to get this rock out.
Well, we have a wagon and we have a elk. Which, would it be below him to carry a wagon?
Yes, but she did mention that when she touched the rock, she nearly passed out.
Yeah, we don't have
I don't know that we...
I'm sure that between all of us we're smart enough to, figure a way to lift it without putting our hands on it.
I don't know that it's going to be that simple.
I mean, the strong ones.
Just saying. I don't think it's going to be...
If you pass out, I'm sure that Bryn will catch you.
Bryn's not with everyone at the moment, by the way. She's out by the tree, like, having a conversation.
I'm volunteering her.
Well... What's the phrase? No better time than the present. That's the one. I'm like, present. What one is it? And she'll gesture for Bryn to come over and just be like, well, we need a plan. We're going to try it. May as well try it now. Yeah, well, actually. Yeah, you've been over there for a bit. Hot minute.
I think that she mainly would have just been like talking to the tree, just being like, "Look, we're gonna get this fixed. We're going to figure out what's the don't worry. We know the rock is bad. We're going to move the rock away from you. We're going to figure out the way. I'm sorry, I don't really have magic that can heal you per se, but we're going to get rid of the rock and stuff, and then hopefully the bad things that are happening going to go away. Oh, Aery. Oh, sorry. And then she'll come back to She was just having a one-sided conversation with
Yeah.
We are here for you. We're not listening to the crazy lady. We're gonna move the rock. Rock bad news.
As you start walking away, after Aery has basically come over and found you, you hear what sounds like tearing. And as you turn and look back at where your hand was, you can see there's a small fissure in the side of the tree, and the inside has these sort of black and white striations underneath it.
Oh no.
I'm going to get this fixed. That's not good, I don't think. Aery, we need to get rid of this rock. This rock is bad news. I don't care.
It was Natalie that went to get you.
Oh, it was Natalie. Natalie, we're going. This is a bad time. That's not supposed to happen to threes. Like the veins were bad, but that's my hand was just there. This is bad. I don't know if it's a cry for help or anything's happening, but there's a 3, and I think it's a good 3. It's been for a long time, obviously. Like,
yeah. Let's do it. Let's. We're gonna get the rock. It's gonna. We'll be. Yep. Let's do it. How are we gonna do this? Can we have a look at the rock? Like, you said that it's connected with the side of the tree, right? Like, there's like kind of like a crater in the side, and then it's like leaning up embedded a little bit in there. Is there any gap between the tree and the rock, or is it just kind of in close proximity, or?
So it is getting right up next to the tree. Effectively, you get the sense that it hit, and there was a small crater, and its momentum carried it up to the side of the tree where it stopped. And there is sort of like a small gap at the top, but the bottom of the rock is kind of pushed up against the tree.
Okay.
Sorry, before we move away from the gouge, like the striations and stuff that were in the tree, can Bryn like look at it a little bit more closely? Does it look like it's the tree has actively like pulled its bark away so that we could see what was going on, or does it look like these like veins are pushing through and tearing through it?
It's almost like make an investigation check.
Oh, no, she's real bad at looking at things.
Can I also look at the thing? There's an assistance thing.
Sure. Yeah.
I will also look at the thing.
17, so 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 17.
17. The two of you kind of look at this new sort of like almost tear in the bark a bit more closely. You could see that it almost leads into a cavity. Looking past, there are like these threads and veins of this black and white material across the front, and through the center you can see like congealed sap that kind of is slowly dripping down. But as you look more closely, you're actually now certain there is a cavity through this space. And it is approximately the size of a hand. You could probably fit your hand in pretty easily.
I'm going to level with you, Natalie. Hear me out. I really
don't put your head in the tree. Please don't put your hand in the tree.
You guys said to hear me out, and you got to me. My hand in the
Was that it? Was that what you were going to say? Because I'm going to tell you not to put your hand in a tree.
Okay. Real talk, I think the tree is a good guy. All right?
I agree. However...
Bryn is just going to, like, really, like, hold the hand like seeing if Natalie is going to actively intervene and try and stop her.
She's doing the like crossed arms disappointed look, but she's not going to stop you.
Bryn's doing the cat when cats will like their eye try and steal your food. Like
don't do it, and the cat's just like
yeah. Like, I'm not going to stop you from doing it. I'm just going to put my thought out there. But she's also ready if something happens as well.
What are you guys doing over here?
Okay, as soon does Natalie like at all respond to Aery?
Oh no, she's like eyes looking at your hand right now. Like, this is danger moment. Nothing else is she's focusing on right now.
I think Aery's talking to you, Natalie.
Bryn, are you about to put your hand
You're gonna do it.
Okay. It is cold. Like really cold, and there is kind of like a little bit of slime, and you kind of have to push through, and as you do push through, like the crisscrossing weave of black and white, it kind of tears away almost as if it's decayed or rotting, as if it didn't really have a lot of structure in the first place. And you kind of get up to about the wrist until you hit the real mass of sap, and you sort of have to push a little bit further, and then your fingers push through the back into the cavity. And you're not sure if it's just because of the sap on your fingers that's specifically calling attention to it, but you feel wind on your fingertips. And then the cavity expands and grows wider, and you feel your arms starting to get pulled into the body of the tree as slowly what was once just a tiny gap about this begins to open up and expand to accommodate more of your arm.
Okay, does it look like she's being pulled in, or does it look like it's just opening?
It appears to be getting larger, as you can immediately see, and as far as you can tell, she's still just sort of reaching her arm in.
I've assumed at this point we are all noticing this.
I think
you probably heard the conversation, yeah.
Yeah.
Bryn, how are you feeling about this? It looks like something happening.
I'm going to level with you. I think I trust the tree. I think it's trying to tell us something. I don't feel an imminent danger. It's cold, but I'm good with cold.
Can I vibe check the tree?
How do you want to vibe check this?
Can I...
What do you reckon, nature?
Well, I was just thinking, like, insight, because I'm not trying to tell if it's a tree or not. I'm trying to tell, like, what the tree's intentions are with my friend's arm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, does the general aura seem, like, threatening, or...?
Yeah, because she's so sure that this tree is good, but the rock lady is also really sure that the rock is okay when it's not. And I think they're both getting pretty obvious red flags that they're ignoring. I just want to...
I would say that this is a nature check.
Okay.
All
right. Wait, what did I...
I would just like to point out that Natalie absolutely has her hands, like, literally centimeters from Bryn's shoulders. Like, literally ready at any point to, like, pull her.
I probably can't tell because that's a 2. And I have +4, but it's still only 6. So I don't really know what's going on with this tree, but I trust Bryn's judgment, I guess.
I mean, the last tree that Bryn talked to dropped a leaf on her head and then opened the way to another, like, grove, essentially.
She usually knows what's going on with trees.
Or she at least seems to know what she's doing with trees.
From where we're standing, can any of us see, if we're all on the same side as Bryn now, can any of us see the rock?
Yeah. So basically, there's the center of where these 2 roots are at the base of the tree. There's like the vertical tree over here and these 2 roots at the base of it. I imagine Bryn was still over on the side that she walked around when she first saw the rock.
Yeah.
And just didn't walk back with everyone else to the hut.
Okay, is the rock doing anything weird?
Doesn't appear to be.
Oh.
It's laying there, inert.
It's not like going, bloom, 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 we're gonna steal your friend through this tree.
Doesn't appear to be, no.
Oh, no.
If no one is stopping Bryn, she is going to reach further into the tree.
I'm not stopping you until it seems like you're being pulled in there.
Gotcha.
Like, if you're willingly going in there, I'm gonna let you do it, but the minute that you start being, like, forcibly pulled in there, I'm going to do something about it.
Can Bryn hear anything on the... Because you said she can feel wind. Can she hear any nature sounds, any wind, any... Like, I'm assuming she can't. Side. I'm assuming she can't really see anything yet because it's like sappy. So I'm assuming it's like obscuring vision. But can she hear anything yet?
I would say probably not.
Okay.
But as you're up to maybe just before the elbow at this point, the cavity has gotten larger to about this point. You feel sort of like a gentle pull. It's not forceful. You could probably pretty easily still withdraw your arm. Do you continue to reach into the tree?
Bryn is going to stop, like feeling the gentle like pull, and just like whisper into the tree bark in Sylvan, like, I think that they're really suspicious, so just hold up for like a quick second so I could have a conversation, because like if you need help, it's probably easier with everyone. And I trust you, but I don't think they trust you. So like, just like 1 second, and she'll like turn like shoulder deep and be like, and, like
So you go up to the shoulder.
She'll let it like as she's feeling it tug. She'll let it draw her forward as like a sign of trust. But then she'll be like, okay, like if you could just like hold up for a little second.
So as you're kind of like saying this, hold up, and you let it sort of get to the shoulder, you see that the cavity now expands even larger and seems to grow and tear up the side of this tree up to the point where the cavity is probably about this large. I'm trying to webcam. maybe 2.5 or 3 feet large and pretty wide. And you could probably fit your whole body through it at this point. It would be tight, and if it continued to open up, then it would be easy. But up to now, maybe halfway up to your elbow is on the other side, and you can feel that there is like a cold breeze against your fingers and your skin.
She's gonna think but not say, damn, I hope there's not someone on the other side, because this would look hella weird, just like a sap-covered arm sticking out of whatever is on the other side of this. But she won't say that, but she'll like turn to everyone and just be like, I mean, that's a pretty good clue.
Is it?
It's
the
not.
tree is sick.
And it's not violently pulling me through.
Just because it's not violent doesn't mean that it's good.
But
Yeah,
like,
see,
if
Natalie knows what's up.
But if it was malevolent, wouldn't it like as soon as like I'm up to my shoulder?
Or maybe
like,
that's exactly what it wants you to think.
It's easier.
And she's saying this like hovering
for you to get in.
The tree wants to hurt me. I think it wants us to help it.
Fine.
I mean, can anyone else talk Sylvan? Does anyone else want to have a conversation with the tree?
Wait, maybe I do, I think. Wait, I don't have it on there, I have it on here. I do speak Sylvan. I forgot about that. Hey, tree.
Like, there's definitely, I can hear wind on the other, there's like there's something on the other side of this. It's not just like, and like I'm going to get crushed by a tree.
Well,
it's like an open space.
You think it's like a portal to somewhere?
Maybe. I mean, it could be the Feywilds on the other side. I'm gonna level with you. I don't know, but
would you
met
bet?
one Fey and they were nice, but the thing is, like, what if we go there and then we can't come back? Or this rock fell from the sky. What if it's just a teleport to like up in the middle of the sky? And then we just fall back down.
Let me try. And Bryn's gonna like turn back to the tree and say like, if you want us to come now, gently tug my arm. If you think we should move the rock first, don't tug my arm.
It has not stopped tugging.
I think it wants us to go through now.
You should ask the question the other way around and see if the same thing happens.
If you want us to come now, stop tugging my arm.
Make a persuasion check against tree.
I know. Look, it's for them. It's not for me. I'm on your side. I just, 23.
23.
Wait, is it plus 6? Wait, persuasion. Yes, 23.
Okay. The tug on your arm is consistent. And then suddenly intensifies as it sort of pulls your shoulder in and stops.
It stopped.
I don't know that's...
So
Like, Bryn's really trying to, like, play it cool, like, being, like, joking around, like,
just being pulled, like...
see, that was, like, really strong at first. If it wanted to just pull me through against my will, it definitely could have, and it didn't.
And as you finish that sentence, the gentle tug slowly resumes.
I
Yeah.
think...
Do we know that this is the tree and not the rock talking? I'm concerned, and I don't want you to die.
I don't know if rocks can speak Sylvan, so I don't know.
Huh.
Fine. If you're gonna do it, you're betting on my life too. Would you bet going through here, like, on not just on your life, but on mine?
I can go by myself.
No, that's not
No,
the question.
it has to be good enough that you would bet my life on it too.
Natalie, you're so smart.
Mean.
If you're not, then you're not going. If you will, I will go with you.
I don't think that the tree wants to kill us, but I don't want to bet on your life because I feel that once you start bringing in the value of a life over, like, a conscious decision to help someone, and then that then ends in someone dying, is bad.
But this is me helping you, so just...
I think we should help the tree. I don't think that it will result in your death, so I am willing to bet on your life as well.
Fine. Then I will make the decision to help you. I'll go into this tree with you.
Should I keep going, or should...
I'll follow, I suppose.
So you're, like, up to the shoulder now. It's basically, like, crept up to your neck.
Okay, we're going on an adventure together then.
Just
And
maybe not
then
head first,
we'll-
you're just breathing.
Oh, as she's, like, pushed through. As soon as we hold, like, Natalie is doing it, oh god, she's like, my eyes!
Yeah, so you allow the gentle pull to continue to pulling on the rest of your arm and shoulder, and it's not insistent. It is there is a gentleness to it, and as you sort of push your head in through this opening, as it tears away, the black and white almost veins continue to tear softly away. You hit this just like wave of sap, this congealed matter. And as you push through, your head kind of breaks through like almost this membrane. And immediately you can feel the cool wind blowing across your face. Your arm and your shoulder are free. You can feel that there is, in fact, a fairly strong breeze blowing past you. Do you have dark vision?
30 feet of dark vision.
Oh, that's
Okay.
not much.
No,
So-
she has restricted dark vision.
What you can see immediately is that it is pitch black. It is almost impossible to see. But as your dark vision sort of slowly settles, your eyes kind of darken to the environment, you can look down and you can see leaves and mulch and insects crawling throughout the mulch and moving. And as sort of your other shoulder kind of gets pulled through, you're now like basically halfway torso through this opening. You see that to the edge of your vision, it is just ground and dirt. And probably just at the edge of your vision, you can sort of see another root kind of growing out towards you.
Is it the same as the one that Bryn saw on the other side, the one that protrudes out and then goes back in? Like, is it like a reflection?
It does look to be in the same location, yes.
And then second question, does this feel like a similar sensation to when Bryn stepped off the path and it was dark.
It feels identical to that.
Okay.
So you're halfway in this tree.
Look, she's committed. Like, she feels that if she backs out now, it's like... It's like,
On the
Okay.
other side, Natalie's hoping to grab her hand, like the one that's not in there currently, just
Sure.
in case.
So
And
is it
hopefully following after?
So then torso's through, so she's going to have to like push herself through, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll do that. She'll like
So
try.
as you go for her hand, Natalie, you feel Bryn just kind of like pull her hand free and pull it through the opening, and then the rest of her body just pulls through until you kind of tumble to the ground on the other side. And the rest of you looking in, it's like looking through a cloudy mirror. You can see Bryn on the other side. She can't be more than 3 or 4 feet away from you, but the details are incredibly fuzzy and hazy through the mucus and sap of this tree. It is hard to make out, but you can see Bryn is right there. Bryn, as you kind of collapse down onto the ground on this side, you stand up and get an opportunity to look around. The opening that you just came out of is coming out of the opening you just went into, but backwards.
How
So
you
whereas
doing in there,
previously-
Bryn?
Can Bryn hear Aery say that?
It's like warbled. It's like
I'm not understanding. Bryn will just double thumbs up, just like I can hear you, and I'm assuming everything is currently fine.
Are we all going in there? It's got to get to my hair.
I have an unfortunate feeling that yes. It's really the only thing we can do.
Well, then I would suggest at the very least we send that note first.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah, that's a good
good
idea.
idea. We probably should have done that before anybody went into the tree.
I thought about it, but I didn't want to interrupt.
All right, well, if nobody else does, Eminence will get out her little piece of notepaper, a writing implement, and then just kind of pause and look at the others like...
I guess we should tell them we found a... Oh, this isn't what they sent us here for.
We didn't
Do
have a
not-
word limit, did we?
They know
Well, I
they're
have to
looking
fit on
for
the paper,
magical
I guess.
things. I'm sure this would be
Yeah.
interesting to them.
In our investigation, we stumbled across an potentially evil rock artifact.
Found artifact.
Yeah, do you guys want to buy it or something? I don't know.
Question mark. Valuable? Question mark.
It appears to have corrupted tree.
And a woman.
The forest. We
in
should
the
say
middle
the
of the-
whole forest, not just the tree, so that it seems. I mean, it's two, but like so that it seems more evil.
Corrupting forest. Question mark. Mind control 2? Question mark.
Should we bring it to you?
No. If
think
we're going
having
through this tree,
At this point.
Oh yeah, then just be like, going to go into a potentially evil tree. Bye.
Hmm.
We'll
Well, that's
send
kind
another
of
letter if we make it out.
Found portal to question mark Feywild? Question mark.
Should we also mention where we are?
yes.
Center of forest.
Tiny hut, large
Send
tree.
reinforcements.
Yes.
Send reinforcements.
Please.
Thank you.
LS THX X.
Maybe like a smiley face or like an X or something.
And Eminence. And then in much smaller writing, and crew.
We did have like an official team code. When we like team I?
Yeah, we haven't figured out a name yet.
Brackets team I. The script is getting longer than the actual message.
It is.
To whom are you sending this?
Isn't it kind of like I thought that they were those things that you like can fold them up and send them to fly off, and they'll find.
Oh, it already had his name written on it.
Yeah, it's kind of.
We only had one each, I think.
Yeah, so Bryn's used hers already, and then this is the second out of the group we'd used, I think.
Yeah.
Eleanor? What was his name?
Oh, we had an El Romeo at some point, but that's not him.
Oh,
El
that's his
Romeo
name.
is
Yeah,
the court wizard.
El Romeo.
El Romeo's a court wizard, isn't
Oh no,
he?
is he?
Yeah.
Do I have multiple L characters?
What have you done to yourself?
Oh, no.
Make it difficult in the future.
Can't believe I've done this.
Can't believe you've done this.
Wait.
We're all the worst.
Look at everybody looking at their notes.
Notes. I never heard of it.
I have such
What's that?
Eladir.
Eladir, that's it.
Eladir.
Oh, I should have remembered that.
Eladir. We should remember Kazdia.
No, because Eridan is real close to.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, but Eladir, like dear, as in letter?
Oh yeah, I'll address it.
Dear Eladir. Fuck.
It works. It helps. Gotta have
We're
some
the
kind of
worst.
association.
Yeah.
So I've
Sure
kind
you'll
of
love
like
that.
lost track of how these notes work, but there's some kind of magical thing, right? I can just.
Yes, they like.
Yeah. You kind of finish out writing out that letter, and as you do, you watch as the paper just lays flat and then folds itself up, and suddenly in your hand there's just a small little origami bird, and the head kind of looks up at you, and it does just a little motion, and then
Oh no, hang on. I have said that Eminence is the Draco Malfoy of this group. She absolutely must.
Where's
and with a
mine?
gentle blow, it flies off into the wind.
Baby.
Kato. Okay, so on the other side, as they were writing that letter, Bryn, is there anything that you want to do?
I guess she would be like listening. She would have turned looked through, thumbs up to Aery on the other side. It's like, we are so good on this side. You don't even need to worry about like. But then I think she would be. I think first, like it being so dark, but seem kind of like reflection-y. If there's any stars or like sun or any like looking up, like
Yeah. Looking up, it is pitch
anything.
black.
okay.
There is no sun, moon, stars, sky. It is complete darkness out to the edge of your dark vision. And go ahead.
Can she smell mint?
You actually do smell mint, yes. There is sort of just this. It's not immediate, but just the hints of it. That said, looking up, while you don't see a sky, you do see the rest of this oak tree that you now see to have been mirrored, flipped. Left is right and right is left, effectively. But on this side, the tree is withered and just this shrunken husk. And you can see the black and white veins that you can now see much more clearly on this side are almost constricting around the body of this tree. And as you look up towards the branches are not flowing and wide and open like the tree was on the other side, even bereft of leaves, they are jagged and pointed and sharp. This tree on this side, very clearly from just a glance, is suffering significantly.
I think because she's by herself, she wouldn't immediately kind of like act on it, but she's definitely trying to like trace with her eyes like where on this side all the veins are like kind of stemming from.
So walking over, sort of like tracing along the side of the tree towards the center, you can very clearly see on this same side there is also a crater, but there is no stone in the crater. At the center of where the crater kind of butts against the side of the tree, there is just this tangled black and white knot. At just kind of maybe a foot and a half raised up from the ground, embedded in the bark, from which the rest of these black and white veins are spiraling out.
She'd wait for everyone else at this point, but like rest her hand like on the tree on this side, just kind of like be talking to it, saying that like similar to before, like okay, like they're coming through, like we're gonna get rid of this kind of thing. We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Did someone just go Super Saiyan in the background?
Oh, sorry. That Reese is playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
Totally fine. Yeah, okay.
Just reassuring and stuff.
That's
who
what
else? Yeah.
Just...
who else wants to go through?
Absolutely. Very keen to go straight in.
I don't want to, but I'm gonna.
Going head first, feet first, how you want to do it?
Yeah, look, seeing that Bryn's fine, just gonna go head first. Like, shoulders in, like, all right, let's go.
Can Aery
you kind of claw your way through.
Get in on Natalie going through by hiding under her cloak?
Sure.
Like hands around the waist, like
yeah,
just holding on.
No, wait, and then just go under.
It is a little bit more awkward for you, Natalie, because you can't use your legs to sort of push yourself through. You pretty much just have to muscle through on your arms. But you do pull yourself through, and you pull Aery's upper torso throughout the rest of the tree underneath your cloak. And Aery, you emerge now on the other side, your hair unscathed. Before you pull the rest of you through. Oriana, you head through as well?
Yeah, I am going to like pull the hood of my cloak up, but not so much so my hair doesn't get dirty, so my horns don't get like stuck on the tree.
Yeah.
If that's
it takes
the
a little
concern.
maneuvering. It is like a small crawl space, but you reckon you could probably get through without too much difficulty.
I just don't want to get stuck halfway through by my head.
The horn just stuck in the side of the tree. No, yeah, you're able to make your way through without too much difficulty, leaving only Eminence.
I look around.
Alone
really consider my options. And with a very put upon sigh, I also hood up the tree.
Yeah, it is a very dramatic sigh, and it is a shame there is no one there to see it. Really a 9 out of 10 as far as sighs go. But you put up and push through, and now the remaining 4 of you are on the other side of this tree as well.
I guess we regroup.
Seems nice.
Bryn.
Yeah, Bryn will like seeing everyone coming through now. She'll walk back to where it was, and just say like, I think I've found where it's affecting it. I see why it was insistent on coming through now. It's like whatever this thing is, it's almost like it's grown through the
tree on every level. I don't know that that makes sense. But there's no rock. But there's all of the veins and all of that bad stuff. Maybe we can't pick it up on the other side without removing this.
Like it's transcending planes of existence.
I think maybe it's
a
bit above our skill level, perhaps.
Yes.
But possibly.
Well, I don't know how. I think it's just how everyone's been saying that this is like it's like a thinning between the Feywilds and like our plane and stuff like that. So I think it's easier maybe for something magical or whatever this is to permeate both layers at the same time, kind of thing.
Do you think we're in the Feywilds right now?
I don't know, but I can smell mint. I know that you can't just smell mint everywhere. I mean, maybe you can. I've never been to the Feywilds before. But you can smell mint, and that was something that we smelt when we were pulled into that other area.
So, Eminence and Aery, I believe the two of you have also been in the deep wood when whatever darkness has come by. This is eerily similar, if not identical.
Okay.
There is no sky. The ground beneath you is just ground. You can barely see beyond the edge of your vision, as if there is no light whatsoever. This looks very, very familiar to that darkness that you've already experienced.
Right.
Well, it does feel eerily similar to last time. We almost died here.
Well, I don't know if it was that we almost died. Maybe it was the forest trying to give us some kind of hint or some kind of message, because it wasn't like the best experience, but none of us got hurt.
Maybe, yeah, it was just trying to get us here. Or maybe it is evil and it was trying to get us here so it could murder us, and now we have come of our own free will.
Well, I think, though, that definitely our suspicion of Skyrock Bad is correct, and Bryn's gonna, like, point up at how all of, like, the branches are, like, all gnarled, and, like, how much more encompassing on this side, like, the decay and stuff is, like, where the veins are. I don't think that you need to have a background with plants and trees to know that that's not how, like, it's not healthy for a tree to grow like that.
What are we going to do about it, though?
I think we killed the massive veiny root things that look bad, but I don't know how to approach it in the terms of combative kind of thing.
How do we do it without hurting the tree? This is a growth from the tree, though, right?
No, because I think this is coming from the rock, because it starts in the crater. I think that's what I'm saying. Like, the rock has done something that on both sides, bad things are happening.
And maybe we just have to hurt the tree, to fix it. Like, I've never done surgery, but I'm pretty sure it would hurt, and it's still a good thing, right?
So we cut out the nods?
Aery, as you're having this conversation, sort of glancing around a little bit to look at the tree, something catches the edge of your vision, and as you turn to look away from the center of this Y, there is now a tree. Not a huge one, but on the opposite end of the crater where all of you are having this discussion about the center of the tree, there is another tree, smaller, maybe only about 15 or 20 feet tall, but the branches are gnarled and twisted, straight out of like a Tim Burton film. The central bark of it is kind of like angled up before it jags back to the right.
So it wasn't there before, or we didn't notice it? Okay. I think we have a new friend. No, point at the tree.
Oh, well, remember, Aery, if we use Sylvan
help in the community?
Oh yeah, I'll ask instead of like, "Hi, tree. We are here to help. Are you going to be nice to us? Because we don't want to be hurt by you, and we don't want to hurt you. So let's just like be civil." Hello.
You say this to the tree?
Yes, in Sylvan.
Yeah. The sort of central crick in the bark suddenly just shifts and breaks uncomfortably, and you watch as the entire upper portion of the tree just kind of leans uncomfortably to the side.
I don't know what that means. I haven't had a lot of chances to like practice my Sylvan, in a practical way, and I've never spoken to a tree and had that happen. I don't know what it means.
Let's maybe.
I don't think that it's something that it, like, it happens with all trees. I think that within a location that it's more applicable to these trees. I think that like Bryn's gonna like look at it. Does it look like any of the trees that? Yeah, does it look like any of the trees that we've freed? We were kind of paying attention to them, but I don't know if specifically.
Make a history check.
Oh no. Oh wait, no, I'm proficient in this, so it's not a straight minus. 15?
15? This looks very similar to the first tree that you pulled the nails from.
Oh. Aery, I think this is like that little, like, how there's like one of those little things that like woodpeckers like, and they usually will like make a nest or something. That the first tree that we freed had a very similar one. I think this might be like, it might be one of the trees that we know.
Oh, well, I guess that brings us back to the question of, were they being nailed down to keep them from going where they wanted to go, or were they being nailed down to keep like us safe from them going somewhere and killing or something,
Well, the nails they looked like they came from Jana's collection and hut. And she likes the Skyrock, and I'm pretty confident Skyrock bad. So I'm hoping that they're good.
Why would it?
Again,
it's not
Aery,
done.
You now see at the edge of your vision, maybe just barely in the dusk of this blackness, there is another tree behind the
Oh my god, that's another one. I'm just gonna like go and like stand really close to Bryn.
No, it's fine. Okay, like Bryn and Sylvan said, it's okay. We're here to help. We're just trying to figure out a way so that like we don't want to hurt and she's like pointing at like the big tree. Just like we want to get it off, but we just are trying to figure out how to do it so that we don't hurt it. If you know anything and can like gesture in a good direction for us to go, that would be greatly appreciated. We're hoping that getting rid of this makes all of you feel better as well, and then you can go home or wherever you want to go.
Make a persuasion check against tree.
Oh.
Every time, it's funny.
13.
Once again, it sort of has like this awkward angle, and there's just a small crack. And then the one behind it, you hear as the bark itself seems to twist, as it seems to rotate unnaturally 90 degrees. And this time the branches kind of swing down almost closer towards the five of you.
Duly noted. We're going to expedite our getting rid of the vines, because I'm assuming you're pointing at us, because we're the best way to get rid of them. And she's going to be like pushing Aery back a bit, just like we need to get like veins.
Well, we're not too far away from where that is right now, like the weird growth thing, right?
Yeah, so I would say you guys are probably at the center where the crater is, at the center of the two large roots of the central oak. These trees were at the edge of your vision about 30 feet away from you. Like you can just barely make out their shapes in the darkness.
Okay. I'm gonna cautiously pull out my axe. But like watching the trees, theoretically nothing is happening. Taking it off of my back, like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna turn to the weird growth thing.
Yep.
So we said cut it off, right? Where do we start?
Maybe if we start at the massive tangle of like where everything is like converging.
Or maybe you should start at the ends and cut them off. Like, if you're trying to like brush out a knot, you try and get to the ends first so it's less to deal with in the center.
If it's like a knot, right? Would it be like a ball on a flat thing? Like, would I be able to find like a spot where it's like thinnest, but still obviously a part of the bad thing? That makes sense?
Not super clear. So
like tree,
you're looking for a weak
bulb,
point in the knot?
And then I would be like, and then that would be gone.
So it's like partially embedded in the tree.
Right.
And as you're kind of looking at this, you hear and leaping over the side of the large root to your right, you see a small humanoid-looking figure, sort of long, spindly limbs, scarlet red hat, massive iron boots, and this wicked iron, what looks like a machete, and immediately just goes flying towards the tree and starts slashing at the bottom of the tree like absolutely berserk. A moment later, two more of them leap over from the other side, and they just start swinging at the tree, and you watch as the trees just kind of twist and break under the force of this onslaught of momentum of these two creatures as they spin around towards the tree, just slashing at the woods. Branches kind of reach down, almost finger-like, and immediately get sliced across from these creatures as they just slice wildly.
Are they attacking the other trees, or are they attacking the big tree?
They are attacking the other trees, the two smaller trees.
Can I... Fuck, I don't have hold person. Can I... lightning bolt? Can I lightning bolt?
The little dudes?
Little man.
Sure, let's lightning bolt. Is that dex save?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's in a line. Maybe that's not the best one to you. I thought it was the one that cooled it down. I'll just chromatic orb then, because the other one shoots in a line. I thought it was a different spell.
Sure.
Chromatic orb at 2nd level, which is just an
second
attack.
level.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get a roll.
Okay. That's a 17.
17.
Plus 7.
That's gonna hit.
Oh wait, no, plus 4. Sorry. Wait. Modifier is plus 4. Spell attack is plus 7. It's spell attack, right?
Spell attack modified to hit. Yeah.
Range spell attack against the target.
Okay. Yes. Plus 7. So 20.
At second level? Damn. So that's 48.
Oh no, that's 24 to hit. Sorry. I haven't rolled my damage yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the damage type?
Let's still go lightning. They have iron boots. Surely that's gonna do the.
Makes sense.
8.
Makes sense.
Yes. And where's what is 8? Here. There we go. That's an 8. Sorry. I don't use the 8 very much. That's an 8. Should have one more. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's 4 at second level.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a 4, a 5, a 7, and an 8.
That's pretty good.
24.
That's
24 points
very
of damage.
good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what's the damage type? Lightning?
Lightning.
So there's this crackling orb of electricity that kind of like spins out into the space, and for a brief period of time, the area around you is illuminated, and you can see a little bit more brightly. And one of these creatures, it's not even paying attention at all. It's just hacking at the tree like an absolute madman. The thing just catches him right in the back, and he kind of knocks over and falls to the ground. He gets up and looks around, and as he does, one of the arms of the tree just comes down and scoops up and hits him, and he kind of like flies through the air in your direction before bouncing and sliding across the ground in front of you. More closely, when you look at him, he looks like this. I've posted it in our Discord.
Look at them.
And he's kind of like holding on to his axe as he's looking a little bit stunned, but kind of gets up and starts hissing at the rest of you. The other two are continuing to attack the trees, but this one gets up and looks to start getting ready to attack the rest of you. So we're going to roll for initiative, but first, let's go ahead and take a break. Cliffhangers.
Cliffhangers.
Okay.
Amazing.
Bye.
Yes. Blam blam, everybody, welcome back. Let's roll for initiative. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Bryn, how did you do? Oh.
Is it working? Okay, I think it's picking up.
Yeah.
No. 6.
6. Natalie?
16.
16. Aery?
3.
3. Eminence?
9.
9. Oriana?
4.
4. Okay.
Wow.
So,
Guys.
up first is the little dude who's right in front of you guys.
Fuck.
They will get a chance to respond first. So the other 3 continue to attack the trees that are nearby you, sort of 30 feet away in this Y. They are just a whirling dervish of attacks. Just chopping and scratching and chopping and scratching and chopping and scratching. Okay. Okay. The other one that is directly in front of the rest of the party, I believe, Bryn, you put yourself between these trees and Aery. So, Aery, did you step in front of Bryn when you did this spell, or did you still stay behind the tanky paladin?
Probably would have just like reached with my wand still from behind.
The reach around? Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid saying that exact phrase, but yeah.
Well, I apologize. I am actually just 6 years old. So you are behind Bryn. Okay. The creature looks at you and sort of comprehends that you cast the spell at it, and then and it turns and looks at Bryn and raises its hand forward and gets ready to strike. It's going to take 3 attacks against you. That is a 19, 18, and 12.
The 12 misses. The other 2 do hit.
Okay. Is 14 points of slashing damage as it strikes at you 3 times, but you're able to block the first attack, but the other 2 just come so quickly with an absolute frenzy that they just catch you by surprise for 14 total points of slashing damage, and that is their turn.
Did it have to... Which one was this?
This is the one that was direct, like... So,
okay.
Aery attacked one with her chromatic orb.
Mhm.
It got hit, and while it was kind of staggered by the hit, it wasn't paying attention. So the tree like smacked it, and it basically fell right next to you guys.
So it was already within 5 feet of us, kind of thing. Like stood up and just started punching on. Okay.
Okay, Natalie, you are up, and that means that Eminence, you are on deck.
So there are 3 of them, right?
A 4th one just came over.
4th one just came over. I've currently got my axe out in front of the knot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, she go after her friends first. I'm going to run up to the one that is in front of Bryn.
Okay.
Rage.
Okay.
Hit.
Do the hit. Make the rolls.
2 hit.
Do you want to flank behind it so that you can get advantage?
Yeah, if there's the room to do that, I would love to do that.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, if it's with advantage. So I said rage first, didn't I? I think I did.
You did. Yep.
What? Are you for fucking real? That's 2 4s.
No.
That does make it. Oh my god, where is my actions? There it is. That is 11. The
11?
first one.
I'm afraid an 11 does not hit.
Well, I tried. That's a lot better. That is a 25.
25 hits. So they do move unnaturally quick. As you swipe at it the first time, it just kind of dodges out of the way and kind of looks at you and sticks out this hideous grin at you. But you're able to catch it on the backside of the swing.
Okay,
What's the
perfect.
damage?
That is 8 plus 4 plus 2, so 14?
14 points. Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool.
Okay.
So that'll
Natalie. Be my turn. Yeah.
Cool. Eminence, you're up, and Bryn, you're on deck.
I watch Natalie rush past me in a rage and take a few measured steps backwards, place my hands in my pockets, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to ready an action.
Sure. What are you readying?
Misty Step, if any of these little bastards come towards me.
Okay, and that's perfect. That's great. Okay. Oh,
sorry to back up a little bit. But my ancestral protectors will go on the first hit as well. The while raging first one you hit on your turn has disadvantage on any attack that isn't against me, and if it does hit them, they get resistance to that damage.
Okay, awesome. Bryn, you are up, and Oriana, you're on deck.
Bryn is going to the one. So there's one right in front of her. Where were the other 2? Oh, the other 3. Sorry, 2 were still on the tree.
Yeah, and another one is like just coming over the route towards your right, and it looks like it's still headed towards the trees.
Okay.
But now hearing the sounds of combat, it seems to have looked over and spotted the rest of you.
So we're at. Bryn is going to on one that is on the tree. She is going to use Moonbeam, which would be a Constitution saving throw. Saving throw, yeah. Or I guess one that looks like it's going more ham than another. Like if there's any, I don't know if there's anything differentiating them. Like if there's one that looks tougher than another one, or
They do appear to be pretty similar in size and shape. There's not really one that stands out as particularly angrier. And you're attacking one of the ones that's
On the
attacking the trees.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So that's wait, casting range. Yeah, 120 foot range. So I'm assuming that's more than enough to like.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you cast this moonbeam, but something is oddly different about the way that the magic works here. Instead of being an actual full beam of sunlight coming down from the sky above, you see what almost looks like a facsimile of a moon appear 40 feet in the sky above it. And a moment later, there's just poof, this massive beam that comes out from this one. It does illuminate the area a little bit more. So those of you without dark vision can see a little bit more easily. You also see that behind these two trees, there is another third tree about 10 feet back that is only just now being illuminated by the moonbeam. So what is that, dex save?
No, Constitution saving throw.
Okay, well that's a 3.
Okay, that's a fail.
Yep.
Where are my d10s? That's a 10. Do I have 2 10s? No, wait. So 2d10. I don't think plus anything. Yeah, no, just 2d10. Oh, 8. That one rolled off. 8 and 9. Hell yeah. 17 points of radiant damage.
Wow, nice. 17.
And then... Oh, actually, I don't know if any of these are bonus action. Then she's also going to cast... No, that's concentration. She's just going to stand there. end of that one.
Okay.
Concentration.
Perfect. Excellent. That is your turn, Oriana. You are up.
Yes, sorry. I forgot to unmute. I would like to cast, as bonus action, Flame Blade at 2nd level. So a big magic fiery sword, scimitar specifically, the spell says, will appear in my hand, and then I can attack with it. So basically, I'm just going to attack whichever one is closest to me.
Yeah, so there is one...
Fussy.
There is one in between Bryn and Natalie, right up by the rest of you. But it is, this is the one that was already wounded by Natalie's attacks and Aery's spellcasting.
Well, I mean, if he's closest, hopefully he dies now.
And he got slapped by a tree.
Melee spell attack, please.
Yes. I'm trying to, because I've got to do the thingy. That is a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Okay. And then it is I haven't used this one before. 3d6.
Nice.
No, that could be better. A 6, a 4, and a 2, so that is 12.
12. Excellent. You swipe across this creature, invoking this magical flaming scimitar. And there's a brief moment where you cast the spell and like the scimitar erupts out in your hand. And you can see that the creature in front of you looks at it and is kind of in awe for a moment. And then you just strike at it and quickly cut it down. And it falls to the ground, unmoving. Anything else?
No, because if I move towards where one of them are, who knows where they're going to go in their turn. So I'm good. I'll stay where I am.
Okay. Excellent. The trees get to go next. The trees will take attacks against the 2 dudes that are right in front of it. That's a hit, and that's a natural 20. And that's it, and that's it. Okay. So you watch as one of the trees just raises up this massive branch and slams onto it. And you can see that the little red-capped creature underneath it goes, ah! like trying to take the hit and just gets slammed into the ground and crunched. The other one swings this massive branch and smacks it against the side, and the little red cap guy just kind of spins and flies away just from the force of this hit as the trees smack into it. So that's one dead. Yeah, those are the two. From the flare of your blade, Oriana, you see that the third tree in the back has moved slightly closer. But that is their turn. Aery, you are up.
I am going to cast a Chaos Bolt.
Okay.
Is this one so? In terms of distances, how far away are all of the enemies from it? Like, so is this guy that's close to us? Would he still be within 30 feet of the other two?
So the guy that's right in front of you has been defeated. The other two that were just in front of the tree, one of them was just fully crushed by this massive tree that just slammed down on top of him.
Right.
The other one was knocked aside 20 feet to the right. 20 feet to your... Oh, no, it's mirrored in the... Yeah. 20 feet to your left. Gotta get my directions right. And there is one sort of coming over the root on the opposite side.
So none of them are within 30 feet of each other?
They are not.
Okay.
Two of them have been killed, one by you, one by the tree, and the others have basically been split apart.
Okay, well, I won't do that then. I will, I will cast Chromatic Orb again, but I'm just going to cast it at first level.
Okay.
What is it? Yeah. And I'll cast it at the one coming over the hill now.
Great. Chromatic Orb, so that's a spell attack?
Yes.
Okay.
That's an 18 plus 7.
Yeah, that hits. Let's get damage.
Alright. Need less d8s this time. Yes, those are all d8s. Oh, fuck. Well, one's on the floor, so I'm just gonna... that's not as good. 2, a 4, and an 8.
14. Excellent.
Yes.
Okay. Again, with the lightning?
Yes, lightning, please.
Yeah, once again, you kind of lean around Bryn's shoulder and spin off another chromatic orb that flies out and smacks into this creature. It grazes against him, and again, just illuminates the area nearby. But from the shadow of where this creature is hit, you can see more red caps starting to emerge over the side of the root. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I'm just going to tell everyone that there are more coming.
Okay. It is their turn next. So 2 more emerge next to the one that is currently on top of the root. So there are now 3 on top of the root. 2 of them look over and see their fallen comrade at your feet and the flaming scimitar and the giant scorch mark across his chest. And they are going to fling themselves. You watch as the creatures kind of step forward to get close, pull like one leg back, like some kind of ballerina almost, and just throw themselves with the momentum of the weight of their iron boots, flinging the rest of their body forward in just an insane display of acrobatics. Just
Oh my God.
as they spin through the air and fly towards you. Bryn, you are in front, or no, sorry, Natalie, you are in front. And I'll say 50-50 between Bryn and Oriana, because the 2 of you just kind of stepped forward. Sorry, so evens Bryn. So Oriana, can I get dexterity saves from the 2 of you?
Oh no. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. That's a 17 minus 1, 16.
16 is good. Natalie?
Oh wait, what did I need to roll again?
Dexterity save.
Sorry. I heard my name and I was like, it's not me, it's fine. Don't know what I'm on. Dexterity save is not good. 12.
12. Okay, so you see this creature just like flinging through the air, helicoptering towards you just from the force of this kick. And you're able to get out of the way, Oriana, and just nimbly sidestep it. Natalie, you're like, did he just? No. And then it kind of just smacks into you with the sheer momentum of the force. You take, oh boy.
Love them using the force against me.
You take 20 bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone.
So I take 10 bludgeoning damage and knock prone.
Yeah, as this massive iron boot just crashes into your chest and immediately knocks the wind out of you, so that you suddenly have to catch your breath and stand up as the creature is right on top of you. Just the other one is going to fling himself at a tree. Yeah, he absolutely is going to hit that tree.
No, leave the trees alone.
Okay. The tree... Yeah, the tree that just slammed down onto one of the ones that was right there and just crushed it, it's like pulling its branches up, and as it does, this third red cap just flies through the air and just smashes into it, and it doesn't even wait to like grab on or fall to the ground. It hits the tree, and as it's falling, it just starts just hacking at it with the scimitar insanely. But that is... Oh no, there's the one last one. It is going to get up and attack the other tree by flinging itself.
The one in the moonbeam still alive?
That was the one that was knocked away.
Oh, the one in the... it was a tree knocked about. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to get up and just kind of run forward towards the other tree and take a few attacks against it.
Did anyone else's D&D Beyond crash, or is it just me?
I think
mine's fine.
Mine's
Can
fine.
I get back?
The two trees are starting to look beaten up. They're not looking quite as great. But that brings us to Natalie and Eminence. You are on deck.
Oh, quick question! It flinging itself at Natalie, does that count as entering Bryn? Because she's got 10-foot reach. Because it's actively doing it to do that. It's not being pushed and being forced.
It's not using its movement to do that. I think that's the ruling in the book. It's not actively using its movement. This is an ability that it has.
Oh, this wording is when they enter your reach, not enter your attack range, like per se. It's just saying when it's within reach. If it like enters within reach. Because it's for pole arm master.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably not in this circumstance, just because of how quickly they're using their turn to throw themselves bodily at you. This isn't like I'm gonna run by and hit that person, so oh look, I'm gonna get a chance to stab them while they're running by. This is like them physically throwing themselves. And I think you're right. I think D&D Beyond did just crash.
Yeah, I can't. I think I remember my stats, so I should be fine, but...
I'll trust your character.
Because mine's...
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
keep that webpage.
If anyone can like download their own character sheets or something, that would be a good time to do it. But...
okay.
It's my turn, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, you've just been knocked prone.
Knocked prone. We'll use half my movement to get up.
Okay.
Actually, I think... I have athlete, which means I use 5 feet of movement to get up.
That sounds fair.
But I'm not moving anyway, so it doesn't matter. Half, whatever. So
you stand up.
Yeah, I stand up. I would like to attack the one in front of me twice. I will choose to do that recklessly on the first one there. I think, or both of them. I don't actually know. Yeah, it's just not opening at all. But I think it's on the first that you attack on your turn. But the first will also enact the ancestral guardian thingy.
Yeah.
So the first one is pretty sure it's +7. So 16, 23 for the first one.
23 hits. Yep.
Second one is, that's a 9. So it's a D12, 6 +4 +2, which is 12.
10, 12. Yep. Awesome.
But that's slashing if that makes a difference.
It does not appear to.
Okay. And I
Okay,
think I
anything
had-
else?
That's all I can do, I think. I don't have any bonus
Excellent.
actions, so
Yeah, spectacular. Eminence, you're up. Bryn, you're on deck.
I keep watching.
Holding the same
You
action.
bitch.
Yes, indeed.
I love it. Okay, Bryn, you're up. Oriana, you're on deck.
Bryn will use a bonus action to move her moonbeam to one of the ones in front of the tree, whichever. So there, I know you said more were coming, but presently there's 2 on the trees because the other ones started running towards flinging themselves towards our party, didn't they?
No, so
Oh, the one flung itself towards the tree. 2 flung themselves towards our party. So there's
yes.
Try to
So
keep
there
track
is
of how
one
many there are.
more. So there's 4 in total currently.
okay. And 2
There's
on
one
the
in front of
trees, 2 on-
Natalie, one in front of Oriana, one in front of each of the trees.
Okay.
And one of them you can see has already like been burnt by your moonbeam in front of the
Okay.
trees.
That one she's going to move the moonbeam back onto,
Okay.
which is another con save.
Okay. Fail.
Okay,
Not even
so
close.
it's 2. Wait, where I just used my d10s. Which ones are reveal yourself?
Reveal thyself.
There it is. A 3 and a 10, 13 points of damage, radiant
Excellent.
damage.
Yeah.
And then she will. She will move past because of the people that the 2 are on. She's going to go for the other one that's on the trees. Because she's confident that Aery and Natalie can handle these rambunctious tiny men. So she's gonna because the trees look very beat up, she's gonna move forward. And how's the one looking that's been burnt by the moonbeam? Is that pretty?
He's looking pretty toasted. Still standing, but he's been scorched.
Okay. So then she'll attack that one first with her first of the 2 attacks. Attack. Plus 7. Jeez. So 21, the first one.
21 hits.
Oh my god, how do I keep losing my d10s? I keep using them. 10 plus 14 points of slashing damage.
Okay. He's still standing.
Then she's going to attack. She's going to attack again. Natural 20.
Nice.
Which is 27.
Oh boy.
And then 6, so 12, 16 slashing.
Yeah, you absolutely cut this one down in the light of your moonbeam. You just take your massive pike and slice into it, and then with another jab, just swing across the back and cut it down completely. It falls to the ground. However, now that you are closer to the light of your moonbeam, you can see a little bit further past these 2 trees, the one that's 10 feet in front of you and the other one to its right. You see that there is, in fact, a 3rd one behind it, and a 4th. And a 5th, and a 6th at the edge of your vision 30 feet away. It seems that the trees are coming.
She's just gonna finger gun the trees and stay where she is.
Excellent. That is Bryn. Oriana, you are up.
Okay, I decided to listen to Megan and try and download my character sheet, and it fucked everything up, so nobody else do that.
I also did that, and now I can't get back in.
No.
Sorry.
Thanks, Megan.
But my flame blade is still a thing, so I'm gonna move if I need to go hit someone, if there's anybody within.
Okay, so there is the one that flung itself at you. That's right next to you on the ground.
Okay, cool. Okay,
He basically just like landed right next to you.
Oh, good. I'm gonna stab him.
Okay, let's get an attack roll.
God, I think my attack bonus is. Oh my god, that's a nat 20. So that plus whatever my attack modifier is, which I think is
nat 20 hits. You're fine. Yeah. So
Okay.
double your dice for your 3d6. So 66. What the heck?
Okay.
What the heck?
6 for 3. Let me just write this down. Pin. I don't have enough dice out to do all 3. Okay. 6 for 3. 662.
643 is 13. 662 is 15. So that's 28 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Nice.
And then as Warcaster, I can use my bonus action to attack again.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stab him again.
Absolutely. Just
Okay, that's not another nat 20, but that's a 14 plus 5, I'm pretty sure. So that's
yeah, that hits.
And that's much less good dice. That's a 5, a 2, and 1.
8 points. Okay. Yeah, this other one flings itself at you with these massive iron boots that just kind of bite into the dirt as it slids to a stop, turns around towards you, and right as it does, you just quickly uppercut it right across the chin, and it kind of holds onto its face a little bit, and then you strike it back once again across the arm, and it kind of spins with the hit. It is still standing, albeit only barely.
Rude. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Up next are the Treants. So, as you approach this tree and defeat the creature attacking it, the tree just kind of cricks back for a second and leans and breaks again. And this massive branch swings down and swiping towards you as it takes a slam attack towards you, Bryn. That is an unnatural 20 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay.
Can I use my spirit shield on that?
Sure.
I don't know if there's a plus, but it's 2d6 away from the damage using my reaction.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
When I see an ally hit by an attack.
Okay, so that is 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Reduced by 10.
Hell yeah.
10, so that's 8 points of bludgeoning damage, and make a... What would this be? Let's get a strength saving throw.
Oh, excellent. Love to hear it. Oh, lucky I checked that because, yeah, whoops. We rolled a 1. Our API check. We're heading into town to the Black Reservoir.
Yep.
Thanks, D&D Beyond. But that was 24 because Paladin plus 7 on a strength saving throw.
So 24?
Yeah.
Jeez. This thing
I
just
thought you were gonna say
slams
it fails.
into you.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, what?
No. It slams into you, and you feel that as it hits you, it like tries to fling you back to like throw you like it through the little creatures, but you just immediately dig your heels in and just kind of slide back under the force of the hit before it pulls its massive branches back and away. And as you blink, another one of the tree creatures just appears next to the tree directly in front of you. So now there are 3 in a line, almost boxing the 5 of you into this Y where the crater is.
Good. We good.
Yeah. The other tree is going to attack the red cap at its feet. It is going to hit. And... Okay. Yes, and strength save. He fails. You watch as the other tree does something very similar to the red cap, basically to your right, like mirroring you just a little bit, and it just slams into him and whips up, and you just watch him, the little guy with the red cap, go and just kind of fly off over the route the way that he came. Okay, that's their turn. Aery, you are up.
Okay, my character sheet is dead, but
Okay.
before I wanted to cast Chaos Bolt, which is 2d8s 1d6 at second level, I think. And if I get the same number on 2d8s, then it will jump to someone in 30 feet, which is why I was asking.
Okay.
So I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
I got a 5 and a 3, so it doesn't jump.
No.
But I rolled a d6 as well. Yeah, that's pretty shit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 damage.
10 total?
Yes.
Okay, 10 points of damage. And is this against the one that is attacking Natalie or the one that is attacking Oriana?
It would have been in like the group that was coming in because they were more like clustered.
Okay. So there are two right now, basically right in front of you guys. One by Natalie and one by Oriana.
Okay. I will do the one by Natalie, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's lightning damage again.
Okay. So that one is struck for 10 points. Great. Your Chaos Bolt hits it and it kind of and just goes limp down onto the ground. It is defeated. Excellent.
Yay.
The last one. So there's only one remaining. Look at that. Yeah, it's just going to take some attacks against Oriana. Yeah. It just pulls out its iron scimitar and just strikes at you very quickly 3 times. That is 17 and 2 natural 20s.
Oh.
Well, fuck. I'm pretty sure they all hit.
Okay, well, we'll do the regular hit first. That is, yikes, 12 points of damage for the first hit.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I have no idea how many hit points I have.
Okay. So that is 27 points of slashing damage from the 2 crits. Plus the 16 that you just took for a total of 43 points of damage.
Jeez.
Do you think 43 would knock you out?
I'm pretty sure I'm 39.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yes,
I think that's correct, actually, because I think we have the exact same hit point.
Yeah, this creature just goes into a berserk fury and just like it was attacking the trees, except it's not a tree that this thing is attacking. It's your sister, Eminence, and you watch as she tries to withstand the barrage of hits, and then it cuts through her, and she falls to the ground unconscious.
Yeah, Eminence.
Only there was something you could have done to help.
The one that got thrown behind the root, you watch as it just throws itself back over the root, and you don't even see it like climb up. It just comes spinning over the top back towards the tree, and misses and just kind of lands and skids across the ground for a little bit before it gets up and looks and tries to reorient itself. Natalie, you are up, and Eminence, you're on deck.
I still had the one in front of me, yeah? That's still alive?
Yep.
Yeah, because there's only that one and the one in front of Oriana at the moment, right?
Yes.
Yes.
No, the one that was in front of you... Oh, that's alive from the witch bolt. That's correct.
Yeah.
The one that's really wounded. Yeah.
But it's just not dead yet.
Well, we shall see.
Yet. Well, I mean, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm still really angry. I'm still gonna hit it. See what happens.
Okay.
First one's with Reckless, which is a 22.
22 hits.
12 for the second one.
Okay. 12 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
12 does not hit.
That's painful. That's a 2, 4, and 2, so 8.
8. Oh man, it is like.
Can I just like
barely
headbutt it,
standing.
like jab it in the for a bonus action? You know.
I'm afraid not. Yeah.
Damn it.
Sorry. Anything else?
That's all I can do. I don't have anything else.
Okay. Eminence, your sister just went down.
Oh, it does have the thing, but it's not attacking anyone else.
Yeah.
So.
And the gnome creature is still basically like right on top of her, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I scream, first of all. Misty Step directly above Oriana.
Okay.
And I stab that fucker in its throat.
Okay. Is Misty Step a bonus action?
It's a bonus action.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and take an attack roll against it with your dagger.
God. Hit my dice.
Just so you know, D&D Beyond just came back up for me.
Oh,
Hey. Let me see if I can
I
actually get my
will
character.
reload.
It's
Yeah.
Hey.
D&D
I'm still getting internal
Beyond.
server. Oh, no, I'm getting internal server errors.
No.
The Dom should be able to check you though, if you
That's
need.
fine. Or any
If
of us.
it's available.
I don't know what my attack bonus is, but I rolled a 2.
I've got a spinny wheel. Yeah, a 2 is not great. I'm gonna say that's probably not within the range to hit it. You pull out this dagger and you try to strike right at the neck, and the creature just looks at you and just raises the scimitar and bats your hand away, disappointingly.
Log me in as
Yeah.
another character. Get out of here! I don't want you.
That was my move. I think that's all that I can do.
Okay. Excellent. That's your turn. Bryn, you're up. Oriana, you're on deck.
So how many? So there's the one in front of Oriana. There's the one in front of Natalie, and there's the one that missed and hurtled and it landed past the
Threw
tree.
itself at a tree. Yeah.
And it missed. Okay.
Yep.
The one in front of Natalie is really beat up, isn't it? It's like barely standing.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like doing the Mortal Kombat finisher shuffle.
Okay. She's going to move her moonbeam onto that one because it can move 60 feet as a bonus action.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Is she currently only technically engaged with one treant?
Yes.
Okay.
So it got a 24 Constitution.
That's okay. It's just half damage. So still a D10. 8 points of radiant damage.
Okay, and that's just halved?
No. So it's just the. Oh wait, yeah. So I need to roll the other one because it's 2d10. And then.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let me roll the other d10. The other one was a 10. So was that?
So 18 halved is 9.
So 9.
Yeah.
Points of radiant damage.
You move the moonbeam over this creature. It's like barely standing in front of you, Natalie. The moonbeam comes over. It starts burning, and you just watch as it goes up and just like yells into the moonbeam and falls to its knees and slumps over unconscious. It fought it. It really did. It got a natural 20 on its con save. Okay. Anything else, Bryn?
She is going to look at the tree and then look at the red cap that's near Ori that Emmy's engaged, and look back at the tree, and she is going to like move and go over to the other red cap.
Yeah.
And does it take an opportunity attack on her?
Why, yes, it does. That is a 27 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay. That is 15 points of bludgeoning damage. Wait. Yeah. 15 points of bludgeoning damage. And make a strength saving throw.
natural 18, and then yeah, that's the +7, so that's 25. Strength saving throw.
Yeah, that's more than enough. It takes a swing at you, and once again, you're just able to dig yourself into the ground and just hold against the brute force of this massive tree.
Yeah.
As it strikes against you, and once again, just kind of pulls
she's,
itself back.
She's just like on the way through, and Sylvan just like encouraging pat on the back. Thank you. Yep, no, on it. And she's going to use her 2 attacks against the red cap. That can she flank with Emmy if Emmy's engaged with her?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Oriana. No, yeah, Emmy, you're right.
Emmy, Oriana's unconscious.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure Oriana would flank if she was awake.
Every time. How far? We're 4 hours into this broadcast, and now I've made it. I'm getting better.
So that is advantage, right? Flanking's advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah, so natural 20, so excellent.
Nice.
10. And a 10. Love to see it. So 24 slashing damage on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
One's a natural 1 and one's a 16?
16 hits.
Ooh. And then 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay, you strike this creature down. It's almost like laughing at Eminence. It recognizes the familial relation between the 2 tiefling sisters and starts cackling evilly, and you just run up from behind and just get it right in the back and pick it up a little bit and kind of shaking its arms before you toss it over to the side, and boom, 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 it goes down limp. Anything else?
There's only the one red cap that's past the trees now, isn't there?
Yeah.
All right. She's probably just going to yell to everyone, just be like, just don't get near the trees. There's only one left. We could see if we could talk it out with the trees after. And just like, thumbs up, just like, only hit me twice. It's fine. I only
okay.
just like...
Oriana, let's get a death saving throw.
Okay. Oh, that's bad. That's 4.
4. That is 1 failure.
Yay.
Okay. Up next are the trees. 2 of them immediately just start beating the red cap. Absolutely. That's a natural 20. It kind of gets up and almost immediately just gets smacked down. And then another tree just like Whomping Willow style just smashes it into the ground. However, you now see that it's kind of terrifying to behold. With the moonbeam back over closer to you and the flaming scimitar next to you, there's a moment where the flames actually dissipate from the flaming scimitar, so just the moonbeam. There's a moment where the moonbeam flickers, and in that brief instant, weeping angel style, the trees just move 10 feet closer, so they are now 20 feet away from you. And that is it. Aery, you are up.
So did they just kill the last red cap?
They did.
Okay, so it's just us in the trees now?
It's just you and the trees.
I don't want to attack them. Can I try and talk to them?
You can certainly try.
In Sylvan, I'm just gonna be like, no, wait, we're here to help you. Please don't, mash us into a paste. We're your friends.
Okay.
I guess that's it.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Hopefully my form is back up. That's a 9. +7 there, so 16?
16, okay.
Trees be friends, please?
There's one way to find out. Natalie, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna run back to the tree. The part of the tree that was all busted and shit.
Yeah. The like black and white knot.
Yep, that is correct.
Yep.
And
Yep.
be damned, I'm raging right now. I'm just gonna go ham.
Let's get an attack roll.
I'm guessing I can do that twice if I can do 2 attacks on my action. Can I do that recklessly to get advantage, please?
Sure.
Hang on. I needed to check this now that I had that sheet back up. If I can do it on both or if it's just one. I think it was just one though. When you make your first attack. Oh, no, giving you advantage on melee weapon rolls. So it's against all of them. But I have to do it on all of them. Okay. It's fucking...
Oh no.
The first 2 were a 2 and a 6. The second 2 were a 3 and a 19. So the first one is a 13. The second is a, like, 20-something.
Yeah.
26.
They both hit. It's not moving. And you're just whacking at it.
Not moving? Really?
It is not moving.
Okay.
Because it's a tree. I see what you did there.
Yeah, I know. I was being terrible. It's fine.
Wait, what were you attacking again?
The knot on the front there. So 12 and 8. So
moving.
Yes. So that's 20 plus
12 and 8 is 20.
8 plus 4.
Okay, 32 points of damage. You slice into it and then pull back and immediately slice again. And as you pull your blade free, you don't see sap. You see what looks like oil. Just this black viscous sludge slowly start to seep out of the gouges you slash into this. You've done some good damage, but it's still like tightly wound within inside of the bark.
Yeah, cool.
Excellent. Okay, that's Natalie. Eminence. Oh.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
No worries.
I've lost track of Bryn. Did you kind of disengage and move away from us after you?
No, she's still standing. She's still standing next to you.
Okay, then I am going to look at you as if I kind of want to punch you before thinking better of it. Can you help her?
Yes, I can. Of course I can.
Please.
Fine, she's going to be fine.
And that's all I do.
Okay, Bryn, you're up.
So Bryn is going to kneel down and just, not even risking anything, is just going to, the rest of her lay on hands, just like a full 25 hit points, pump straight into Oriana.
Mm-hmm.
Get her up
and that's your action?
That's action.
Okay.
Kind of want to talk the trees, but I would assume that's probably an action to like try and persuade. Is there a way that she can move her moonbeam where... Oh, she didn't roll. It's concentration. I haven't rolled any because we've been doing the strength, so I've done...
you've been taking damage 2 times.
Yeah, so twice. Oh yeah, both succeed. She's got a +7 on con as well. It was like one barely a 4, but then the other's an 8. So yeah. Is there a way to move it so that's hitting the writhing? Well, not the writhing knot, the knot of like veins, and not hitting the tree. Because it's like
probably
stemming,
not.
Isn't it stemming kind of out? Like it's stemming from the crater?
It's like protruding a little bit, but the majority of the knot is like kind of embedded in the side of the tree. Like a Final Fantasy boss would have like a gem in his chest. It's like in his chest and it is protruding out, but it's primarily in the body.
Okay.
You would imagine.
Then she is going to use her movement, go over to it, and then use a bonus action to at least move the moonbeam in front of Emmy and Aery, so that if the tree was like coming towards them, it couldn't just like, it would have to step kind of into the
I mean, you could go around, but like
Sure.
trying to position, like deterrent kind of position it in front of
Okay.
them and kind of away from the trees. So like pulling back kind of any offensive magic from the trees area.
You said you were moving towards the oak or towards the trees that are walking forwards?
The oak, so towards like the knot of veins.
Gotcha. Excellent. So Natalie, currently you are in front of the rest of the party, as sort of a vanguard to everyone else in this position with how everything is just shaking out. Oriana, you
like
find
that.
your breath coming back to you as you open your eyes and see your sister looking concerned over the top of you, and it's not a good look on her. What would you like to do?
Firstly, I would like to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really know what to say to Eminence. Probably just pat her on the shoulder. You know how like old men who don't know how to do emotions do? Just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, my grandfather, absolutely.
Yeah. And right now the trees aren't exactly attacking us. They're just
as you look around, the trees are closer and there are more of them.
Like in a threatening way.
You did see one of the trees hit Bryn.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was before or after. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might hold mace attack.
Okay.
Can we
if something gets in range.
Reaction for me to look at her with absolute disgust and shake her hand off my shoulder?
Absolutely. I'll give that as a free action.
Free action to cry, free action to sass. Love it.
Yeah. Okay, Oriana. The moonbeam is now positioned between the rest of you, so it's basically like Natalie, moonbeam, and then directly behind is Oriana, Eminence, and then behind is Natalie, you ran up to the tree. I apologize, you're not in the front.
Oh, that's why I was like, I thought you meant like vanguard to the tree, as in something was going to happen with the tree, and I was shitting myself. So, you know.
I apologize. Natalie, you're next to Bryn, next to the tree in the back. Then there's Aery. Then you've got Oriana and Eminence, and then the moonbeam in the front. Mm-hmm. And again, even though the moonbeam is emitting light so that you can see, once again, there's just this horrifying, wrenching instant where the trees are just closer, weeping angel style. This time you don't even blink and they're just closer. They are now 10 feet away from the rest of you. So there is the trees, a 5-foot space, the moonbeam, and then Natalie Eminence and Oriana. You get the sense that they would be in range of you the next turn.
Are you coming closer for a hug?
Aery, you are up. And Natalie, you're on deck.
Aery is still not going to attack them, but he is going to run over to the big strong goyles so that they can protect him.
Yep.
So Eminence and Oriana, obviously.
Well, one of them is strong. The other just thinks she is. Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Obviously didn't say that in character.
Yeah. And are you doing anything on your turn?
I don't think so. Can I try and talk to them again? Like, or
yeah, absolutely.
Have I already tried that, so it won't work?
You can certainly try.
Like, no, please, really, we're just trying to help. Please don't hurt us.
Oh, make a plea check.
Make a begging
persuasion.
check.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a bit better. 11 plus 7, so 18.
18. The trees appear inert when looking at them from a distance, but you know they're not.
Please be nice to us.
Aery's whole vibe is, wait, no, I'm so sexy though. Don't hit me.
Don't kill me. I'm so sexy.
You look past this initial row of 3 trees that is just slowly encroaching, and there is a forest behind them. To the edge of your vision, you can see the rest of the trees are getting closer and closer as well.
I think maybe we should just go back through that hole. They're going to murder the fuck out of us.
Natalie.
Look, I understand. However, I am raging currently. And I feel that it would be a disservice to not take advantage of that before anyone else has started to move. So I will yet again attack the weird, goopy knot that is before me recklessly.
Yep, with advantage.
Oh, baby! That is 120, but also a 17.
Okay. Hit me with all of the dice.
So that's 25 plus 8 plus
4.
4, yes.
Is 37 points of damage. Damn.
Actually,
okay.
I can hit good.
With your swing, once again, you raise it up, and this is what you do. Chopping trees. Look, it's not elegant, but this is what got you strong in the first place.
It's
and you just raise up and bring the blade down, and the first hit, you once again see more of like this black oil just kind of like seep out, but the second hit, you can see in the center almost something like pearlescent underneath the oil, and as the blade comes in, it ruptures this almost like pearlescent shell, and it just kind of cracks before splitting open from the interior of this black and white knot of these veins. And from the center of that like pearlescent shell, this small, perfectly black orb just kind of falls out from the center, like some terrible pearl. And you can see a single pair of black and white veins sort of helixing out of the back of this and up into the black and white knot.
So like an eyeball? Like
almost, yeah. So it's like just a small sphere about eyeball sized, and just these 2 black and white veins just kind of helixing back into the mess.
What a shit. I mean, I can't do anything else on my turn, but...
Shit. Eminence.
Misty Step.
Where are you going?
Away.
Where away?
I can move 30 feet. I'm going to go 30 feet in a direction that is not taking me any closer to the trees, unless they are literally surrounding us.
So the trees appear to be surrounding you. You could probably try to get like up on the root to your left or right, sort of the large Y of roots.
You know the fuck what? Hold on just 1 second.
What the fuck what?
I feel like when we're stressed, we would start swearing, and it's just great.
It's the Australian way.
Yeah.
People knew what they were signing up for. Unoccupied space that I can see. I have every intention of heading back through that tree. So I will Misty Step to the opening and use an action to walk right on through.
Absolutely. It's not an elegant walk. You will need to use like half of your movement essentially, or double movement for difficult terrain. But you're 1 second you're there next to your sister, the next you just pop over a little bit to the side next to the root, and you just immediately go through, and the rest of you watch as Eminence just disappears through the opening.
Well, at least someone's listening to me.
Excellent.
What do you
Anything else you
mean?
want to do? On
You just kept
the other
attacking
side,
it.
yeah, on the other side, you kind of fall onto the grass and leaves. The smell of mint is now gone. There is no wind, and it is quiet except for your own panting of catching your breath. And in a panic, you quickly look over, and there are no trees encroaching in on this side. The forest is exactly as you left it.
Can I see the what do we call it? The sky rock from here?
Yeah. It's probably about 10 feet away from you.
Does it look the same?
Laying there, inert.
Okay. I pull myself up against, so I'm leaning back against one of the big roots of this oak tree, and I pull my knees up to my chest. And that is...
Okay. That is it. Bryn. You are up. Oriana, you're on deck.
Bryn is going to. So, can she still, like, out of the trees that are encroaching, can she still, like, see? Because none of them died or none of them got felled, did they? They just got, some of them got pretty badly damaged.
Yeah, the two of them that are approaching you are, like, pretty badly chopped and scraped up from these creatures. One might even say that they're bloodied from these red caps, and it is pretty apparent that this is the same type of damage to the rest of the trees that you've seen throughout the deep wood.
So can she still recognize the one that she was confident was one that they pulled the nails out of?
Yeah.
All right. She's going to kind of yell to the others to, like, fuck up the little pebble thing that has veins coming out of it. But she's going to stand, like, in front of Natalie, and she's going to try and direct it at that tree because she has some kind of vague familiarity with it. She's going to try and help with the persuasion side like Aery was doing and just say, look, we freed you. We were let into here for a reason. Please let us help you. We're trying to remove this thing. I know that you're all in pain, but we can help you.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
$19 plus 25.
25. Okay. Yeah, you shout at this tree, and much like the other few times, nothing immediately appears to happen. Oriana, you are up.
How far into the tree is the thingy? The pearly thing.
Oh, it's basically like hanging out. If that gem was like the Final Fantasy boss gem in the chest sort of thing, the knot was like embedded in the trunk of the tree. It's now been like completely split open and ruptured, and it's just like barely hanging out. Like you could probably just walk over and just pluck it.
That's kind of my plan. If I can touch it, I'd like to walk over and cast Inflict Wounds on it. At
Absolutely.
3rd level, because I haven't actually used any of my spells today. So why not?
Let me check something real quick.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. Make a melee spell attack.
Okay. Wait, that's a 19 plus 5. 24.
24 hits. Go ahead and roll 3d10 damage.
No, I cast it at 3rd level, so it's 5.
Oh, heckin' nice. 5d10 damage.
Holy shit.
Get that pebble. Fuck it up.
Fuck up this rock thing. Okay, 5.
You know, my homies hate rocks.
That's exactly what I was.
I got, oh my god, this is actually not good. I got 2 2s, a 7, a 1, and a 0. So that's a 10.
Okay, so that's 22 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, cool.
Nice. So as how do you want to do this?
I think I've described inflict wounds before as when I touch something, like gross necrosis kind of comes out of my hands and through the thing. So if it already has gross veins attached to it, I would assume that whatever I'm touching turns like a sickly green color, and then the necrosis will spread out from that to everything that it's touching.
Okay. So you reach forward and just with one hand just grab this core of whatever this thing is, and there's a brief moment where part of your brain is like, I intend to use necromantic magic, but what if it, you know what, we'll deal with that if we deal with that. And you just unleash this pulse of necromancy into this core. And there is something that for the briefest instant sort of pushes back against the inflict wounds, and then just immediately falls away under the onslaught of raw magic fury that you unleash into this thing. The rest of you watch as the black and white sort of veins of the knot in the center suddenly seems to shrivel up like a grape in the sun. The discoloration of the black and white suddenly turns this dark, sickly green hue, and you immediately watch as the veins that are wrapped up around the tree also slowly kind of begin to shrivel and break and tear in some places. And the black and white veins that are sort of wrapped around the tree suddenly kind of begin to break apart, releasing what you can now see to be a grip. Like if you've had a hair tie on your hand for too long, you can still see the imprint of it on your arm when you take it away. You can now see the imprint in the tree itself of where these veins were gripping it so tightly and are now being released and freed. And almost immediately, the single 2 black and white veins that are helixed coming out of the central thing just kind of break off, and that central core dissolves into ash in your hand, Oriana. As this happens, the trees stop. The wind stops. And then you just hear a single bird land on one of the trees in the front. Difficult to see, if not for the sound that it made, but a single raven, pitch black, and it just kind of looks at the 4 of you that are still there as the moonbeam just continues to release light into the area.
Cute. I guess that means they're not gonna kill us. That's cool. Sorry, what did you do to that thing? You fucked it up.
I needed to get this over with. I've got to go find my sister. Are you happy here for a bit? If you want to look around, you can look around. I've got to go.
Yes, I think that. I don't think we need to particularly linger for a long time, but
Bryn is going to probably put her weapon away. Is it still super dark though?
Yeah, it's still pitch black.
Right. She's just going to turn and see what everyone else does first, I guess.
Natalie's hanging with Bryn because she was the one who opted to stay to come in here. So she's like thinking they'll be the last 2 to go out, but she's definitely like motioning for the rest of them to like head out, because that exit's not too far from here, right? Like it's still within that
It's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aery's pretty happy to peace out.
Okay. So Aery, you head on through,
Yeah.
and Oriana, you do the same.
Yep.
Okay.
Bryn is going to carefully approach the trees, like the grove of trees, kind of whichever one is kind of the foremost.
That's probably the one that you recognize, the first one to have appeared with the small, like woodpecker knot in the center.
Is there any? Can she kind of sense any kind of, or like, does it seem any kind of anything amiss from before? The same thing, they just seem like normal trees, like they always have until you blink, kind of thing.
I mean, it's still twisted and like jagged, like what's his face?
Treebeard?
No, Nightmare Before Christmas guy.
Christmas guy.
Tim Burton.
That
Like a Tim
that's
Burton
it.
tree.
They're
Like
still
a Tim
Tim
Burton tree.
Burton-esque.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the one that the bird landed on?
Yeah.
In listening, are there other, like, because I know there were bugs on this side, like we could like see, like here, kind of, and like in the soil there were like some rough semblance of life. Now, are there any, with the wind dying down, any other nature sounds kind of starting to come in?
As you strain your ears, it is still pitch black, so it's kind of unnerving to close your eyes, especially considering that it doesn't make a huge difference. But then you do hear twigs snapping off in the distance.
Right. She is going to gently move forward and place her hand on that tree and just say, hopefully this will make you all feel better. I know that it was terrible. We will free on the other side. We'll remove those nails. We'll remove what was causing pain as much as we can. You know, no hard feelings about getting punched in like the side of the head and the back and stuff. Hopefully this is okay. We'll like leave the bodies of these things, they're good nutrients, I guess, and stuff, and see you on the flip side, maybe. I hope you all feel a bit better. And then she will kind of not turn her back straight away. She'll kind of back up a little bit, and then...
Don't turn your back on the weeping angels.
I mean, she's come this far, so she will eventually. But,
yeah.
But I don't think she's going to go through the bodies of the... Actually, if there's any kind of, like, on the way out, like, if she passes any of the things, she'll just kind of have, like, a closer kind of look at them, the bodies of the things that they killed.
Yeah, absolutely. Make an... So are you looking for their equipment? What are you looking for?
She's more like trying to figure out what they are, like even like what kind of creatures, because you said they didn't strike us immediately as gnomes. Like they were gnome adjacent, but they were like different.
They were humanoid, but
yeah,
not, like
yeah. So as their features are like grotesque amalgamations of what their features should be. Like, have you seen what is it, Chapter 1 of the reboot? How he's afraid of the abstract woman in the painting?
Okay.
So their features are kind of, now that you're actually close and looking in more detail, their features are kind of abstract in a way, and that you can still see like very clear eyes, nose, mouth, and it strikes you that instead of looking like a humanoid, it looks like it should look like a humanoid.
Like
if
it's
that makes sense.
replicating, like it knows what it should look like, so it's trying to replicate it, kind of.
Yeah, like a rough facsimile of what it thinks a humanoid would look like. Like the teeth are overly large and pointed and sharp. The nose is just kind of bulbous. The eyes are these tiny little red beads.
I'll just turn to Bryn as well and just be like, we know what iron does here. Maybe we should take their boots with us.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I think they'll go. Bryn's gonna go up to like the main tree and like I don't know. I don't know if this works, but she's gonna put her hand on it and in Sylvan, she's gonna ask, "Will it hurt you if we take like pushing these through the portal onto the other side? Will it hurt you?" Because she doesn't want to, like, this thing suffered a lot. She wouldn't want to be doing anything that would harm it.
There is no sound or movement but for your own breathing and occasionally the sound of something in the distance.
Wait, something in the distance?
Life.
Okay.
Just like general, like, white noise.
Like, you hear a cricket maybe 2 football fields away, and the only reason you're sure it's a cricket is because there is no other sound, and that just makes it stand out, and it's that much more special.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think maybe we'll gather them up, and if it reacts badly at us trying to push it through, we'll stop and just leave them.
We've got cloaks. We can always wrap them up in our cloaks, and then there's no contact.
I agree. We'll get the iron away from them. So I guess they'll gather up the boots, like they'll go and just strip.
Also, like while we're there, may as well like loot them if they have anything on them.
Okay. Sure. So they don't appear to have anything of value, except for those like heavy iron boots and the sort of rusted and chipped scimitars, and their bright red caps. Just like a basic tunic and
just as an idea, the red cloth that we found earlier, did that seem to match the hats?
It does.
Okay. Well, we solved that then. But yeah, I guess there were 4 of them, so I guess we'll take 2 each. Or was it 5 or 6? I don't know. There were a lot of them.
I think there were 6 of them, or 7 maybe even.
There were 7 in total.
I guess we'll split it, wrap up their boots in a cloak, and head on back out.
Yeah.
We're strong.
Yeah.
It takes you about 3 or 4 minutes to go around to each of them, because some of them had been knocked away a distance, and gather all their boots. And you actually come to a very interesting conclusion. Their boots don't come off. Their boots are almost grafted onto the legs.
Ugh.
Well, lucky we have sharp implements that we can, like, remove the whole foot. They tried to fuck us up real bad, so I don't feel so bad about it.
Like you said, there'll be good nutrients, but they won't be good nutrients if they have iron on them. So I guess we'll take the feet.
Cut the feet off. Take the boots.
Okay. You start cutting off the feet of these creatures.
It feels like the right thing, but it also feels really wrong.
Yeah, that's what you get when you mess with nature, little man.
I would say after about 5 minutes or so of this, you look up and you see Natalie across from you, Bryn, also doing something similar, just this grim work of trying to de-leg these creatures. But your moonbeam has faded, and you're not seeing Natalie in your black and white dark vision. You're seeing a little bit the color of her hair and the color of her skin. And as you start to look around, Natalie, you also see the same thing of Bryn. You can start to see some color from her as well. Looking up, you can start to see a little bit of moonlight sifting through a heavy, heavy cloud cover. and a moment later, another thin, sort of vapory cloud passes by the opening that just forms, briefly dimming it again before the opening seems to grow just a little bit wider. And immediately apparent to the both of you, this is not your moon. This moon is enormous in size. Whereas the traditional moon would be the size of a coin if you held out your hand to maximum distance. This is easily the size of like a full apple in your hand. It is massive compared to your moon.
So glad this is happening while we're doing the gruesome job of cutting off little creatures' feet.
Oh, absolutely.
And like we can suddenly start seeing color again. So, you know, this is great. Loving this job.
Bryn would just call over to Natalie though. Just like the, hey, look at us, who'd have thought? But just like
Natalie's just like wiping her hand a little bit, like blood all over her face, and she's like,
It's like, I think we did a good thing though, by the looks of it.
I think we did good.
That is funny. Okay, so for the rest of your time, not too much else happens as you gather up the rest of the feet and make your way back through the portal.
Yep. We've wrapped the feet up in our cloaks and stuff so that the iron doesn't touch the...
Take their stupid little hats and like...
Good point! Just put them in the...
They're dismembered feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that. We're taking your hat and your feet. Oh my god.
Oh no.
And the two of you head back through the portal towards the other side. Oriana, you are the first back through the portal. And as you come through on the other side, you see your sister back up to the root, knees pulled to her chest. Just sitting there.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna kneel down in front of her and ask her if she's okay. I didn't expect you to come up like that.
I don't make eye contact. I kind of look through you, 1,000-yard stare. And instead of answering your question, I ask, so who killed it?
Me?
Of course you did.
She's gonna sit down where I was kneeling. We're not gonna talk, we'll just sit.
If the silence stretches on, then eventually Eminence will say, you didn't even need it. Give it. He offers you everything, and not only do you not take it, you don't even need it.
No. But I
And
would
I
have.
can't use it.
I would have taken it if it had meant that you got to do whatever you wanted with your life. I hate...
This is what I want.
Is it?
But I'm not good at it.
Nobody's good at things when they start. It hasn't been that
You seem
long.
to handle yourself okay?
Sorry, I'm trying not to yell at chat. I'm older. I was trained to do this. It'll be fine. You'll get a handle on it eventually.
Do you think he's just mocking me? Do you think he's watching?
Well, honestly, that is possible. But I'm proud of you. You're doing really well. Can you imagine you doing any of this a year ago?
I imagined it. In my imagination, I was actually better at it, but the reality is somewhat different.
I would love to say that you don't need him. But I mean, obviously you do. But there are more important things than making him happy.
Found them?
Me? No. But it makes me happy to make him unhappy. And that's a start.
I'd try that if I could, but I don't think it would help my situation much.
Maybe we'll give it a go one day. Are you okay?
I think everyone's going to be pretty mad at me.
No. I don't think they'd dare.
Not with you here.
Something like that.
Thank you.
Sorry for the pet before.
We're not good at this. It's fine.
Can we just pretend it was a hug or something?
As long as we don't have to actually hug.
Good. Yep. Perfect.
Wonderful.
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
Probably around this time, Natalie and Bryn, the two of you, come through. Aery had already managed to sneak by and make her way over towards the hut with the woman. So the two of you find the two sisters side by side, having just finished the conversation.
Just envisioning Natalie and Bryn because they're carrying
Red burlap sacks.
one of us has 4 pairs and one of us has 3 pairs, just like barreling out. It's like, hey, we cut off all their feet and took their dumb hats. And just like kind of emerging, like, oh god, it's in my eyes again.
With a comedic relief in this situation.
Yeah, like just completely not like noticing like this deep and meaningful happening. We're just like, today was a great success. We did so well.
Yeah, coming through the portal on the other side, you can see that the black and white veins that are striding throughout this side of the tree are fading and becoming a little bit more faint already. Even all the way down towards the stone itself at the heart of the crater. It's particularly noticeable at the opening of the portal that you've just come through. The black and white veins have all but disappeared, leaving just this natural organic opening in the tree. And as the two of you finish making your way through, it kind of collapses a little bit, as if it had been expending some effort to keep it open and is now relaxing. But that said, everyone is clear and mostly alive. What would the 5 of you like to do?
While the sisters were talking, Aery would have gone to find the lady who's in love with the rock.
Jenna, yes.
Yeah. What's she been doing all this time? She went inside to make tea, and then we went into a tree.
She was going to make a contract.
Ah.
She was sent to make a contract by Eminence. So
Right.
It's only been probably about 10 or 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
for the total duration of this encounter. So you basically walk into the hut with sap and like dried sap on your clothes and just all over. And she's sort of sitting at the stool at the work desk, and she's kind of brushed aside some of the glass and stone for her telescope, and is just furiously scribbling on a piece of paper. And this, no, and kind of scratches it out and starts writing again.
You know what? Never mind. And Aery just gonna leave.
I've got I'm working on it. It'll just a minute. That's the response that you get back.
He's just gonna go back out to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Before they went into the tree, Bryn had asked Arden to see if he could find a horse. Has he had any luck finding a horse?
Arden was probably waiting next to the hut because you were like, hey, go find this horse. So he walked around, and then when he came back, you were not on that plane of existence anymore. So he was like, wait a second. So he was just kind of hanging out by the hut. Aery, you probably see him first. And he'll probably walk over and nuzzle you, Aery, seeing a familiar face.
Hey, Arden.
Yeah, just kind of follows you around. Arden kind of does wide, slow nod of the head.
Yeah, too bad.
And when Arden returns with the rest of you, he was unable to find a horse.
It's unfortunately probably dead, to be really blunt about it, which is super unfortunate, but Wait, could you just say to him, like, can you just go, like, check in that massive pile of leaves that's the cart in case she had just, like, tied it up to the cart and it had died?
Oh, God.
Arden kind of cocks his head at you, like, really?
No, I'll check in a minute. She's like, yeah, you're right. I just cut the feet off of 5 tiny people. It's fine, I'll go.
We would look like absolute hell right now.
Arden shrugs and was like, I don't understand human idioms, but okay.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think that's a good place where we can end this session after all of that excitement, and we'll deal with all of the fallout from that next time.
Love that.
Because that was quite wacky. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, everybody. Let's go ahead and say a little bit about ourselves and where you can find more of us before we wrap this up and go raid somebody else. So Bryn, why don't you kick us off?
Hi everyone, thanks for hanging out for this very chaotic session. My name is Alishiera. I'm a content creator for Legacy Esports. I stream Tuesday to Fridays, and we have been smashing a lot of Among Us at the moment, actually. I am a variety streamer, but at the moment I'm an Among Us streamer, so if you like murdering your good close friends, then my stream is the place for you.
Excellent. Eminence.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I've been Eminence. My name's Nicole. I don't do much else online, but I think I have like an Instagram or something if you really care. Other than that, I will see you next time we play, because this has been a lot of fun as always, and I can't wait to play again.
Excellent. Oriana.
Hello, I am Lefston. I would like you all to know that I'm just as bad at that as in emotions as in real life. That's what I have to say. I'm a streamer and a cosplayer and a general all-around idiot, and I love D&D.
Yay! We love ourselves some D&D. Aery.
Hello, I am CatRoulette, or Jimmy. I play Aery. I'm an artist, and my new PC, so that I can actually properly stream, is coming in tomorrow. So then streams will be back. I will probably do some art and games and stuff. And I would just like to say, as Mel's actual IRL sister, that is very similar to Heart to Hearts with her IRL. It was very cute.
It's not my fault.
It was wholesome though.
It was a wholesome scene. I liked it. And Natalie.
Yes, I am BurrowsRed. I am a streamer as well. I am also doing a bullet journaling for Dungeons and Dragons series on Natalie, so that's pretty neat. I also just opened an Etsy shop for RPG stickers, so that's also very cool. I think.
So cool.
Well, I think most of us agree as well. So
It is
nice.
definitely very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are adorable, and I want to buy them all.
I bought a bunch already, and they're so cute.
Very cute. My name is Dom. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have been your Dungeon Master. You can find me at the Twitters and the YouTubes and the Twitches and all of that. And I do content sometimes. When I get the motivation to do more, we'll do more maybe eventually. In the meanwhile, I am running this D&D game bi-weekly, so you can tune in 2 weeks on the next Saturday or Sunday, depending on which time zone you're in. Link is down below. I think it's under our campaign somewhere. And you can find out more information on that. But thank you so very much for tuning in. We're glad we could have provided some sort of happiness or distraction or even just background noise while you're folding laundry or doing the dishes. So thank you so very much for watching, and we will see you in 2 weeks. And don't forget to love each other, everybody. 2020 is hard enough as it is, so let's get some hugs all around for that.
Except these two sisters.
Except for those
You guys
two,
are
they
very.
don't hug.
Haven't pressed the button yet, but we are going to see.
Okay.
We're going to see some new people. Haven't seen them around before. I think they are actually like maybe first or second stream, perhaps. But they're doing a 24-hour stream for the Children's Hospital of Omaha, and they're raising money for that. And it looks like they're doing really well. So it's very wholesome, very nice. We love charity. What is with the passive-aggressive point at the end?
Bye.
What?
Scary.
Bye.
Oh, wait.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
I'm
You mean the
so
period
scared.
at the end of the sentence?
Yeah, it makes it so like.
Bye.
I'm so spooked.
Goodbye.
Anyway. Appreciate
Okay,
it.
goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.